Montreal, and a big night at that. The wait is finally over. There he is. After suffering a knee injury in the preseason, Patrik Laine is good to go. He will make his regular season debut tonight with the Canadiens, going up against the Islanders. The return of Patrik Laine helps take out some of the sting from what was a disappointing weekend. The Habs dropping back-to-back games to the Rangers and the Bruins, but now they're beginning their longest homestand of the season. It's the first of 5 straight games at the Bell Center and getting a big boost tonight. It's been almost a year since Laine last played an NHL game, December 14th, 2023. He was a member of the Blue Jackets then, a Montreal Canadian now. He said he had a hard time falling asleep last night, was up early today. He was so excited to be making his season debut and getting a chance to play for the Montreal Canadiens. And with that, we welcome you to Molson Canadiens Hockey here on TSN. Mike Johnson, Laura Dykin here with you. Mystic Mike, you've got your own studio now.
That's how I felt today, knowing I was getting to work with you.
I don't know about that.
I could barely nap for my pregame either.
There you go. Excitement everywhere here. And yes, September 28th, when the injury happened, initial prognosis was 2 to 3 months he'd be on the shelf. He's back tonight. It was a long time coming.
Yeah, and it's in a long year where things have not maybe gone smoothly for Montreal the entire time. Having an infusion of energy and excitement with Patrik Laine coming back into the lineup is a great way to kind of refresh everyone and get everyone's attention and feel good about a moment in the season where it can be a bit of a grind here as we get into the middle and the meat of the year. So everyone will be happy to see 92 back on the ice.
Let's continue along with the Patrik Laine conversation. Head to Montreal, up to the booth where we find Brian Mudryk and Frankie Corrado.
Laura, Patrik Laine has already shown he's an explosive offensive player at the National Hockey League level. He had a 44-goal season. He had 5 goals at one point in a single hockey game. But Frankie, he hasn't played an NHL game in about a year's time. So what are the expectations for Patrik Laine tonight?
To be an elite offensive talent. Now, that doesn't happen overnight. He needs to stay healthy. He needs to stay in the lineup. But it's so significant what Patrik Laine can do for this lineup, because you think about the shot, the playmaking ability, the ability to skate the puck. Those are not qualities or attributes that you can find easily within this lineup. He has such a high ceiling offensively, and to see what he can do with this lineup and maybe get more out of some other guys will be so interesting to see. Now, you don't just do it in one shift. It has to be a steady build for Patrik Laine. He hasn't played a lot of hockey over the last couple years, but there's no doubt that the talent is there and the talent is needed within this Montreal Canadiens lineup.
Laine will be on the #1 power play tonight. He's on a line with Slafkovsky and Kirby Dach, and Kenzie Lalonde joins Uri Slafkovsky ice level.
All right, Uri, my first question for you. With Patrik Laine back in the lineup, does this mean everybody needs to step up their clothing style?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, he's a great guy, and it's nice to see a different style sometimes.
It is nice. He's got some flashy suits. He'll be on your line here tonight. What do you hope to accomplish?
I mean, he's a great skilled player, and well, hopefully we can score a couple goals and just overall play good, get a lot of ozone time, and we will see.
If you throw out the numbers, the stats, and you forget all of that, just what can you tell me about this team?
I think we're getting better. Like, we didn't have as much luck. Sometimes we lose game at the end of the game, but that stuff happens, and we just gotta figure out how to get more wins. But I think we're directing the right direction.
Just a lot of
Thanks.
So yes, again, Laine will play with Slafkovsky and Dach tonight. A couple of changes to the lines with Laine returning, but that top line of Caulfield, Suzuki, and Newhook stays the same. As for the defensive pairing, some switches there as well. Matheson is now with Gouli. Lane Hudson is with Jayden Struble, and it is Sam Montembeault getting the start here tonight. It was funny, Kirby Dach also saying, you know, it feels like it was an early Christmas present getting Laine back in the lineup. Do you like how Martin St. Louis is going with Dach and Slafkovsky with him right on the hop?
So, I mean, I think everyone is excited to have Patrik Laine back in the lineup. And you look at that lineup now, and it feels much more structured. 1, 2, 3, 4. It all makes sense if the second line works. And I think that's a big if. Now, Patrik Laine, you're asking a lot out of Laine in his first game in a really long time to make Slafkovsky and Kirby Dach go the way that the Montreal Canadiens need them to go. But The idea being that these three big, physical, talented players can be a dominant offensive line, and they need this. Patrik Laine's going out there with a line with Slafkovsky, who's got 2 goals on the year. Kirby Dach's got 1 goal this season, and you got a guy who's playing his first game in a really long time. So to expect Patrik Laine to elevate them tonight might be a tall ask, but I think if it works, and we still have to see if it can work, it changes the complexion of the Montreal Canadiens team lineup completely. Now, that's a lot to put on Patrik Laine. He'll just try to get through, get healthy, get his rhythm going, but that's what they're envisioning long term.
And kind of your point, right? Inserting a little bit of energy, because it was a couple of flat performances on the way.
And the way the crowd responded to him, even in preseason, he touched the puck, you could feel the crowd rise in anticipation what he might do, and have that kind of energy back in the Bell Center for this game will be fun to watch.
It has been a busy week for the Montreal Canadiens, a pair of back-to-backs last week. Tonight will be their 3rd game in 4 nights. They've lost 2 in a row to the New York Islanders, both of those games being decided in extra time. Santa Claus is ready. He's ready to drop the puck. Yes, the Canadiens will kick off their 5-game homestand right after this.
Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
In their previous meeting this season, a 4-3 shootout win by the Islanders back on October 17th. It was Caden Primo versus Semyon Varlamov. Tonight, it's both number ones getting the nod instead. Yes, Sam Montembeault looking for his first win since November the 18th. He started in New York, the first of the back-to-back this weekend, gave up 4 goals on 28 shots to the Rangers. And yes, Ilya Sorokin replying for the Islanders, sporting a sparkling 4-0-1 record with a 1.38 goals against in his career against Montreal. All right, you're all set for this one. All that's left to do is drop the puck. So let's get you back to Brian and Frankie at the Bell Center.
Laura, welcome to downtown Montreal. It is game 1 of a 5-game homestand for the Montreal Canadiens. Ilya Sorokin will get the start in net for the Islanders, but the big focus in Montreal, in the Bell Center tonight, a buzz in the building. Patrik Laine is back, his first ever regular season game with the Montreal Canadiens.
And it just starts with one shift, one touch of the puck for Patrik Laine. You have to build it over a period of time. Get something that gets you into the game and gets you feeling familiar. And you know the Bell Center is going to be electric because Patrik Laine, he has the ability to make the crowd ooh and ah. We heard Mike Johnson talk about it. We saw it in the preseason, and we will see it tonight in this game.
Another Patrik back in town. Patrick Roy, the head coach, his second appearance at the Bell Center since taking over behind the bench. So Patrick Roy, Patrik Laine, we can't wait. We talked to Martin St. Louis about Laine. He said, yeah, see what he can do. The Habs acquiring him and a second-round pick for Jordan Harris for Columbus. And finally, his anticipated debut, and he starts on the ice. Underway at the Bell Center. Former Hab, Alexander Romanov, played it to the line. Holmstrom reaching for it. Pop back into Lee. He lost control, and Holmstrom will settle it down at center. Romanov works it in deep. Caden Gooley back for Montreal. Anders Lee there. Gooley plays it away from him. Slafkovsky up the ice to pass through the legs of Doc. Matheson cutting in as well as Doc takes play hard into the corner. In comes Laine. Trying to get the body check on Bo Horvat and just trying to get his legs and get into the game. As he told the media earlier today, he said he was nervous and his hopes is like riding a bike. Get back on it and playing his first game in the NHL in basically a year. George, long shot, Montembeault, oh, what a stop on the rebound! Maxim Siplikov stoned in tight, the rookie, denied by Montembeault. Good chance for Siplikov having a nice rookie season. He comes in 5th in rookie scoring, and he's a banger, Frankie. #1 in hits for rookies as well, so he's a noticeable player for the Islanders.
And he's a skilled player, which is something that the Islanders desperately need because they have good players, they have big players, but they have a lot of the same types of players, and he brings an element of skill to their lineup.
And he took a penalty as he tripped up fellow rookie Lane Hudson, so he'll go to the box for 2. Lane Hudson drives the penalty, and the Islanders, that's rare. They've taken the less penalty minutes in the entire National Hockey League. They're a pretty disciplined team usually.
Well, the penalty kill has not been good for the New York Islanders. Special teams has been such a big problem for this team, and Siplikov, as Lane Hudson goes to spin off and he just gets his leg out. Hudson trips and he goes down, and well, there's the chance for the Islanders early on. Caden Gooley gets caught high in the zone, and there's Siplikov behind him, and Montembeault does a nice job staying with that, sticking out the pass.
Montreal controls. It's Laine on the #1 power play. Laine, puck, reshot, deflected, and right on. So Laine the shot, little knuckler wobbling in, and Sorokin will stop that.
So now this power play looks different. You have 2 very viable shooting options on both sides of the ice, and that's not exactly the shot that you expect Patrik Laine to have, but that is what you're going to see a lot of. Who are you going to take away? You're going to take away Caulfield? Great, now Laine might be open. Those are 2 players that can beat goalies from distance.
You mentioned the penalty kill. It was historically awful for the Islanders last year, one of the worst PKs in the history of the NHL. Top 10 worst, so trying to improve that as Suzuki dishes down low. Slafkovsky had Caulfield lined up and just missed him. Lane Hudson. Caulfield. So you got Caulfield and Laine, 2 guys that could pull the trigger. Laine, wait, shoots, and he missed up high glove side. Lane Hudson, he'll dig it free. Over to Patrik Laine, to Hudson. Goes Caulfield's way. Caulfield waiting. Laine with it across. Wanted to go back to Caulfield, and a good stick by Nelson. Patrik Laine, one more time. He's got the puck for Hudson. Just over his stick, he'll recover. Lane Hudson. Patrik Laine. Nick Suzuki waits, cutting in, back to Laine. Laine wanted Caulfield for the one-timer again, poked away. Good stick by Nelson one more time. Good pressure by Montreal, and the captain, Suzuki, found on the one-timer, set up by Patrik Laine.
You can feel how dangerous, how threatening this power play is with Patrik Laine on and Lane Hudson. Both those guys can make plays that wouldn't normally be there.
Here's Newhook. Cutting in, Kirby Dach moves to the second power play unit, replacing Yoel Armia on this unit. Matheson, Kirby Dach, Matheson, one-time drive, and just wide with Gallagher parked in front. Pajot tried to work it in deep and clear, could not. Matheson walks it in quickly. Kirby Dach, pass in his skates, he'll curl around. Dach, near circle, Matheson. Kirby Dach. Waiting, Matheson thought about the one-timer. Time winding down, a few seconds remaining. Side of the net, puck pass Gallagher, Dach backhand try, and stopped by Sorokin, the clear, and Siplikov's out of the box, but Frankie, good looks for Montreal early in the game, and you're right, a much different #1 power play with that look.
And you can feel the anticipation from the crowd when Patrik Laine has the puck on that half wall, but both units generating on that first power play for the Montreal Canadiens.
The rookie Isaiah George stretching ice, in comes Horvat. Bo Horvat in the corner. Holmstrom, Horvat tried to center, that hit Savard, went behind the net. Holmstrom continues to dig. Savard has the puck off the boards for Josh Anderson. He's away with Evans and Armia. Evans, Anderson in, centering feed behind Armia, and it came right to Horvat. Horvat will dish. George over the line. Isaiah George, the rookie, towards the net. Montembeault steers that aside. Pollock tried to work it in deep, could not, and Casey Cizikas back. He'll play the puck. Montreal starting their own change. Pollock. Hudson Fashion. Over the blue line, he'll delay and then gently work it in. Matt Martin there, he left the puck. It comes to Alex Newhook. Newhook on the top line again with Suzuki and Caulfield. Lane Hudson, Cole Caulfield. 16 goals in the season for Cole Caulfield. Newhook trying to find him. Caulfield driving in and cleared up by Pollock in time.
Good speed by Alex Newhook. It started in his own zone. He made a really nice deceptive move to get that puck across the ice, and the speed continued in the offensive zone before he sets up Cole Caulfield.
Cole Caulfield, 16 goals on the season. Near the top of the NHL as he's tied for third in goals. Second in power play goals as well is Cole Caulfield with 7. And he's had good success as well against the Islanders. 5 goals in 7 career games versus the New York Islanders. Jaden Struble at center. He's going to wrist it in. Battling Anderson. Gooley hustling. Holds the line. Caden Gooley over to Struble. Struble towards the net. And the right pad as Sorokin picks up. Wallstrom taken down by Gallagher as they battle. Sorokin, great numbers versus Montreal in his career. 4-0-1 and .954 save percentage for the Islanders.
One of the higher paid goalies in the league as well, and just starting an 8-year deal at $8.25 million. And the Islanders rely on him probably more than they would want to.
Slafkovsky had Dvorak cutting in. Good steal from Slafkovsky right at the line. Led to a decent chance, but the Islanders work it up ice. Siplikov gave it right to Matheson. Slafkovsky at center. Laine walks it in. Patrick Laine trying to cut around Noah Dobson. Laine back to work. Remember, too, a big frame, 6'4", long reach, lethal shot, Patrick Laine.
That whole line, the shortest player on that second line for the Habs tonight is 6'3". Now, they don't play a big, heavy game, but just having those guys in that kind of reach still makes it hard enough to play against those guys.
Slafkovsky trying to keep it in the zone. Look out, Holmstrom a step. Trying to get around Jacki. He'll drop it off. Lee, backhand feed. Oh, what a drive. Horvat right on. And Samuel Montembeault, another quality stop here in this first period. Good action. Nearly 7 minutes into this first period in a 0-0 game. Cole Caulfield leads the Montreal Canadiens in goals, shots on goal, and a good chance here in the first period. Great start at the Bell Center. These key parts of the game are presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Well, for the New York Islanders, don't let it slip away. Minus 17 goal differential in the third period this season. They put themselves in positions to win games where they haven't. And for the Montreal Canadiens, you have to have speed in all 3 zones. This is a big Islanders team. This is not a fast Islanders team. If you can outspeed them, you will have chances to get the puck tonight.
Islanders control off the draw. #1 team in face-off percentage in the NHL coming in. They win a lot of draws, and they do it well. And having Pajot back in the lineup certainly helps. He's one of the top guys in the NHL. Pull-off, pass through his skates. Evans towards the net, the tip, and Armia right on. Sorokin handled that. Romanov, shadowed by Armia. He'll work it up the left wing. Hudson Fasching, little chip in for Martin. Arbor Xhekaj into the corner first. Fasching looking for it. There's Cizikas. Armia works him into the boards, allowing Montreal to free the puck to Emil Heineman. Nice few games for Heineman. 4th in rookie goals right now. He's got 6 on the season. And the way he scores, Frankie, Heineman's shot, it's high-end, it's elite, and he showed it off with his goal scoring early this year.
It's a great shot, but it's not just a one-dimensional thing for him. He's a strong skater with a good base, and he uses that really well. That's how he's getting his shot off more than he did in the early goings of the regular season, and that's part of adjusting to the NHL.
Pajot negates the icing with the foot race on Hudson. Suzuki will play it back into his own zone. Jaden Struble takes a look. He's got some room. He'll skate it up ice, stop, and pass to Suzuki for Newhook off the boards. Back to Suzuki. Nick Suzuki, the backhand, far wall. Struble there. Wahlstrom engages him. Caulfield leaves it. Picked up by Suzuki below the goal line. Checked by McLean. Up for Hudson. Lane Hudson, he'll work it across. Wrist shot, Struble, no problem there as Ilya Sorokin, who was a Vezina finalist a couple seasons ago, makes the save.
So the biggest thing with Patrik Laine is he has to stay healthy. Now, you look at last season, he was hurt, didn't get to play a lot, but the 2 seasons before that, we have the numbers from 22-23, he's almost a point per game player. So if he's healthy, you know the skill is there. It's just about him being available. And as time, if he's in the lineup a little bit more, the confidence is going to continue to grow for Patrik Laine. There's just, if you look at this Montreal lineup, there's no one that can do what he does in so many different offensive aspects.
Matheson off the draw space, shoots off the post, rebound, and Siplikov will find it. Mike Matheson that close to a 1-0 game. Here's Laine. You know, you mentioned Laine in the scoring. 204 career goals, 70 career power play goals. Getting the crowd going as he brings it in. Kirby Dach. Puck on his stick. Dach leaves it for Laine. Laine. Shadowed by 2 Islanders, so he'll drop it off. Slafkovsky, the shoulder check, has the puck in front. Wanted Laine barreling in, and again, Siplikov took it away.
That's exactly what that line needs to be. Laine, through the neutral zone, carry the puck. Juraj Slafkovsky, use your body, and go back and get it.
Steele Dach nearly took it away. Romanov recovers for Siplikov. Touch pass, Holmstrom, the backhand in. Look out, wobbled on Savard. But able to recover with Horvat using his speed, and he was driving in. Brendan Gallagher's turn to go to work. Skating in, no icing. Oh, big shoulder check. Romanov on Gallagher. Up for Savard, he'll shoot. Gallagher back on his skates, providing that screen. Those 2 former teammates and Romanov bringing the noise on Brendan Gallagher.
Well, you'd like to see Brendan Gallagher getting up from that. He went into the boards pretty hard there with some distance behind it.
Samuel Montembeault. Look out behind him. Has Holmstrom in the rear view, but no harm done to Montreal. 2-on-1, possibly Armia with Dvorak. You want Armia in Dvorak, and he found on the shot. Good burst, 2-on-1 for Montreal. Holmstrom the other way. He'll hand it off. Isaiah George lost the puck to Caden Dooley. Noah Dobson, the PEI native. Centers up top for George. George, he'll hand it off. Matt Martin wrister, and he missed the mark, and that's all the way down the ice.
David Savard did a nice job making that breakout pass right through the middle of the ice that facilitates that 2-on-1 for the Habs.
Heineman trying to lay the body. He's a hit machine for Montreal as well. Make no mistake, he likes that part of his game. Jake Evans in his own zone. Evans trying to spin away from Fasching, gave it away though. Evans back to work, trying to remedy that on Cizikas. Fasching, Cizikas working hard down low for the Islanders. Dooley along the wall, not out. Fasching shot, Cizikas was tracking in front. Couldn't get the redirect in. Evans taken down, but he moves the puck to Cole Caulfield.
Now, one thing you do have to be aware of with Cizikas, he will not give you a free pass.
Matheson, speed, round the net. Mike Matheson tried to center. Couldn't find Newhook in time, and the Islanders away with it quickly. Here's McLean. Up the left side. Oliver Wahlstrom. Works it into the corner. Wahlstrom, another young guy, has an elite shot, but hasn't really found it yet. in the National Hockey League, trying to find his way.
Another guy who's been injured a lot in his career and came off an ACL injury last year and just hasn't been able to find the offensive instincts that he had when he was a younger player.
He can really rip the puck. Remember watching at the Under-18 World Hockey Championship for the first time. High pick, 11th overall back in 2018. Here's Cole Caulfield for Newhook. Newhook with Suzuki. Newhook had his pocket picked, and Ziplikov the other way. They'll chip and chase after it. Ziplikov tried to center. Struble hits him pretty hard. Kirby Dach took a slash from Palmieri. Ziplikov goes up to the point. Dobson. He'll dish in. Palmieri slashing at Hudson. Montreal, look out. Turnover in front. Wow, that almost went off Struble and in. Just trickled wide past that far post. Lane Hudson, watched by Nelson. Played up to Newhook. Palmieri continues to work. Good shift here. Palmieri 1 point shy of 500 for his NHL career. The veteran's done it a long time as Horvat steals over the line. Horvat 1-on-4, cutting in. His teammates changing behind him. Bo Horvat feeds it up to the line. Holmstrom making a move. Laine, though, good job to get in his way. Took his time and space away.
The Canadians weather the storm there, but Alex Newhook has the puck on his stick twice. Once at the offensive blue line, he tries to go 1-versus-3, turns it over, then has it on his own wall in his own zone, turns it over again. That leads to the prolonged offensive zone shift for the Islanders.
Laine, nice little feed, trying to free up Anderson, who's all tangled up by Lee. Gooley in, shot, oh, what a glove! Gooley robbed by Sorokin. Great chance for Montreal. Ilya Sorokin, 101 career wins, an All-Star in 2023. What a glove. Right there on Gooley.
Than usual because of his excitement for tonight. And excitement continues to be the word everyone's using to describe this moment. For Laine, he said he's excited to put a jersey back on. For Dach, he said he's excited to be Laine's line mate because they can use their size to their advantage. And for St. Louis, he's excited because Laine is happy to come to the rink again. A renewed sense of enthusiasm is a driving force behind the return of Patrik Laine.
Kenzie, a lot of buzz in the building. Laine, fourth youngest player in NHL history to 100 goals. Gretzky, Carson, Bellows. And you think about how he came on the scene, second year, 44 goals, second only Alex Ovechkin. I mean, the sky is the limit, and it's exciting to watch that kind of player here at the Bell Center wearing a Montreal Canadiens jersey. Here's Lane Hudson spinning away from Wallstrom. Hudson at the line, dangling, wristing, and he hit Wallstrom. Wallstrom able to start the rush. Here's Pajot. Pajot centers and just out of the reach of McLean. Wallstrom to the line. Dobson waiting, shooting, tipped, oh good. Reed Montembeault. Pajot The tip in Samuel Montembeault. He's made a number of quality stops here in this first period. Dobson had his stick slashed away courtesy Gallagher. Dvorak takes a look. He'll fire it in. Anderson thought about the one-timer. Spinning move. Josh Anderson. Backhand in front. It's loose in the crease. Dvorak can't find it. And finally, you saw the big glove of Sorokin down the puck. And he'll hold for a stoppage of play.
Well, we're almost 15 minutes into this game, and Josh Anderson has done a number of nice things so far. And it starts with his good energy, pace, and tenacity. And for Josh Anderson, we hope that continues as the first period rolls on.
It all began for Patrik Laine, a Jets first-round pick, second overall back in 2016. Didn't take him long last season to get his first goal in the National Hockey League. Remember, too, Frankie, as an 18-year-old, IIHF World Championship MVP, won a silver for his country. Finland won World Junior Gold. And, man, he was impressive to start. Obviously, some bumps along the road, but exciting to watch Patrik Laine make his Habs regular season debut tonight.
And later that week, I was playing for Toronto at the time. We were in Winnipeg. I was a healthy scratch. I watched this game from the bowels of the arena in Winnipeg, but Austin Matthews and Patrik Laine went toe-to-toe, and it was Patrik Laine who prevailed in the end. It was a really exciting game that I got to watch from a TV monitor in the gym of that arena.
They played in the gold medal game at the U18 tournament head-to-head. Finland, USA 2015 in Switzerland. USA won 2-1 in overtime. Colin White, golden goal, by the way. Here's Palmieri. Cutting in, Palmieri wrister off a skate, comes to Nelson. Nelson swing and a miss. Ziplikov in front, and that's chipped and out of play.
So the Habs come into this game 4-5-1 in their last 10, but they're just about to start a 5-game homestand, and this is so pivotal for the team because there's 4 games that are gettable. This one against the Islanders, you have Nashville this week, then you have Anaheim and Pittsburgh in here. There's a very good chance and a realistic chance that the Habs should get at least 3 of those games. You have to push for 4. There's 4 gettable ones.
Yoel Armia, Jake Evans in on the forecheck. Played up to the point. Heineman for Arbor Xhekaj. He tries to deliver the pass to Evans. A little too much heat on it. Puck in the corner. In the corner is Polak trying to spin away. Ryan Polak. Checked by Heineman. Romanov trying to clear. Palmieri will slash it out. I think the Habs are in offside. And Armia finally gets the message, and he'll head off for a change. Both teams will change. Islanders possess the puck. 5 minutes left in this first period. Noah Dobson. He'll drift it in. Racing after it is Lee. Checks Laine. Struble. Watched by Holmstrom. Holmstrom, pin, trying to free it. In comes Gulick. Laine digs it free. He'll work it up ahead. Kirby Dach has Slafkovsky. Slafkovsky. He gets checked by Dobson. Slafkovsky protects the puck. Tried to center. And it comes to Lee. Anders Lee across. Fired in by Holmstrom. He stood up by Guhle at the line. Lee battles in the corner. Struble swipes it away from him. There's Guhle. Holmstrom meets him again. Guhle falls, but Laine's got the puck with Slafkovsky. Laine over the line. Dishes. Slafkovsky wanted Dach, and he was tied up by Holmstrom. Patrik Laine. Slafkovsky behind the net. Takes it away from Mayfield. Slafkovsky in the corner. Continues to work. There's Dach. Laine chips it. Lee, though, the only player there, and he'll flip that. Struble trying to knock it down. He will. Look out, though. Gave it away. Here's Horvat. One-on-one with Hudson. Horvat. And Hudson played him well. Don't look at the puck. Look at the body. And Hudson able to break that up.
And Bo Horvat is one of those guys. He's pretty good at one-on-one. He can find ways to slip past you. He's not just a prototypical power forward that's going to bulldoze his way to the net. Nice job by Hudson not allowing that to happen.
Nick Suzuki fires it in. The Molson Cup winner. He was honored before the game for the month of November. Mike Matheson. Watched by Cizikas. He'll play it away. There's Caulfield. 97 career goals for Cole Caulfield. 16 on the season. Lane Hudson right on. And that was stopped as Hudson still looking for #1 in the NHL. He was talking with the media about that today. Had that smile on his face and said, hey, maybe tonight's the night. But Sorokin, he plays Montreal well. Nick Suzuki, little flip. There's Caulfield. Blew a tire, but Suzuki backs him up and shoots it in.
It's going to happen on the power play for Hudson. I can feel it. Now he's got Laine and Caulfield on each side. That's going to open up a few more shooting lanes.
Here's a pass. Pajot. Oh, and his skates. He couldn't settle it down. He would have had a great look on the feed there from McLean. Dvorak the other way with Gallagher. Brendan Gallagher below the goal line. Anderson cutting in, but Sorokin found it. And he'll cover up with Josh Anderson drifting in for a chance.
Well, the first NHL goal is coming at some point for Lane Hudson. He has the puck on his stick so much, and here he is joining the rush. This is something Marty St. Louis has talked to him about, picking your spots responsibly. That's exactly what Hudson does there. Speed through the middle of the ice. It's on your stick, it's off your stick, and then you are out unless there's a play to be made. Nice job by Lane Hudson getting up in the play.
3-game point streak. He's got 3 assists, all his points assists in the National Hockey League thus far. As he's got 14 helpers this season. He's tied for 3rd in the rookie points race as well. Nelson Anderson line up to take the draw. Nelson, 17 goals in his career versus Montreal. He always finds a way against the Habs, plays this team very well when he goes head-to-head.
And he's one of the more consistent goal scorers for the Islanders. 3 straight 30-plus goal years.
Arber Xhekaj, the shot deflected, and again, Sorokin got a piece. Dvorak waiting, across, pass behind Gallagher. Anderson in the corner. Brendan Gallagher behind the net. Gallagher trying to spin away and find some room. Dvorak there to help. Checked by Palmieri. Picked up by Mayfield. Mayfield backhand down the ice. Ziplikov tried to work it in deep. Palmieri jams at it, finds the puck. It's back to Dobson. Flipped in by Ziplikov. Islanders changing behind the play. There's Savard. Shot 6-5 in favor of Montreal in this first period. 0-0 score. Arber Xhekaj will dish it off. Chipped in by Savard. Isaiah George lost it to Evans, but he fights to get it back. Heineman there as well. Guhle pinching in. He'll chip. George in the corner again. George 4th in ice time for NHL rookies this year. Lane Hudson, of course, leads the way. Evans takes a look and fires it in. Sorokin gets a touch. There's Dobson. A lot of people proudly watching in Prince Edward Island in our Habs viewing region as Dobson, what a player he's turned into. Just an offensive star. And needs a contract, RFA. So a guy that will get paid sooner rather than later.
It's interesting, him and Evan Bouchard, both guys that need contracts and have a lot of similarities to their game with how good they can be offensively.
Final minute, Bell Center, 0-0 game on Patrik Laine night. Here at the Bell Center, his first game regular season as a Montreal Canadian. And he's looked nice in the first period so far, Frankie. He's had chances, 5-on-5, some looks on the power play, and it's just great to see him back healthy.
Well, the 6'3" and over club, aka the second line, has looked pretty good. And I think of a guy like Juraj Slafkovsky. You see that you're playing with Patrik Laine. What does that do for your legs? What does that do for your energy? Do you want to do a little bit more? Do you embrace the puck hound kind of role, the heavier style game, because that's what you have to bring to that line? And I think Juraj's the kind of guy that sees Laine there and says, I want to do that much more to make this thing work.
Well, Marty St. Louis asked about these three together on a line. You know that Slafkovsky and Doc would admit not the starts they've wanted, and now you have a guy on the line who hasn't really played. Hasn't played, what, since Laura said December 14th, his last game in the NHL, nearly a year. But it's looked pretty nice so far out there.
So we were thinking about how were the lines going to be constructed. Do you just put Slafkovsky back on the first line because, you know, that's what makes sense and it's worked, but then you put Alex Newhook on the second line, and you know you need someone to go get it for you, someone who's maybe a little more defensively responsible. So you say, hey, Doc, Laine, Slafkovsky, you guys work together, and you guys figure it out together. And I don't mind that for Marty St. Louis. There's something to be said for putting the responsibility on your players to work things out together.
And St. Louis adding, you can come in waves then, right? You have lines, you can come in waves at teams, and you can make it hard for them to defend. As Laine on cue comes in and delivers the body check. There's McLean, chips to center, back for Lane Hudson. 25 seconds left in this first period. Laura, Mike, Kenzie standing by with your intermission next. As Hudson takes a look, he'll rip it in. In comes Slafkovsky, the check on McLean. Wahlstrom. Oliver Wahlstrom finds the puck. Little chip to himself, but not getting around Struble. And he doesn't like it. They're going to call that interference. And Struble to the box. 5.6 to go, and the Islanders a chance on the power play.
Montreal, 47, 2-minute minor penalty, interference.
Well, here's one of those situations where if you're the defenseman, you want to take a half penalty, a 1-minute penalty. Just don't get that much of the player with only 5 seconds left to go, because even if Wahlstrom gets that puck, he's not going to be able to do much with it. So if Struble keeps skating, just tries to edge Wahlstrom out to the outside, he doesn't take that penalty. Now the Islanders get a power play.
Islanders, we talked about the penalty kill ranked 31st this year. The power play ranked 31st as well. Dobson, they got to be quick. And the puck off the stick of Horvat. 1:55 of power play time when we start the second period. Shot 6-5 Habs, 0-0 game, Frankie.
And all eyes were going to be on Patrik Laine, and that is a good first period for the guy who hasn't played hockey in almost a year. He had the puck, he was engaged physically, and that line was noticeable in the offensive zone.
Molson Canadiens hockey on TSN. Intermission is next in a 0-0 game. Laura Dyken, Mike Johnson, Kenzie Lalonde have you covered here as we step aside for Montreal.
as the homestand continues. The Canadians take on the Predators at the Bell Center. We hit your airwaves at 7 Eastern, 8 Atlantic here on TSN in the Habs region. Right now, let's hear from Kaiden Guhle, who's standing by with Kenzie.
All right, Kaiden, my first question for you. To see number 92 out there, Patrik Laine, a first period in the books for him. What did you like about his performance?
Yeah, no, he's playing with the puck. He's making plays. He got power play there early, too. It probably helps him a little bit, helps confidence, get a couple touches. So he looked good.
A lot of good things to take from that first period. What are you looking forward to building on the most here in the second?
I don't know. I think, honestly, everything was pretty good. I think just keeping the same pace, keeping the same kind of pressure we have. I thought our forecheck was good, getting on their D and making them make good plays to beat us up the ice. So I think just kind of stick to what we're doing. So
final penalty there, Struble to the box with some PK for you guys. What do you want to see on the penalty kill unit?
Again, pressure. Be hard on their top guys. I know they like to use Horvat a lot, so just kind of stay close to him and should be good. So
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Kaiden kind of picked up what we thought in the first 20 minutes, like you said.
Get over here, sit down beside us.
Analyst in training. Well, he's got a couple more periods.
Talk to you in 15 years.
Yeah, in Montreal. All right, MJ and Laura back here with you once again. Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start?
I thought it was Patrik Laine Day, so it makes sense to start with Patrik Laine. And, of course, all eyes on Patrik Laine. We're going to evaluate, watch every move. How's he skating? How's he looking? What's his body language saying? Well, I'll tell you what, for a guy who hasn't played in almost a year, he's playing at a 20-minute pace for the game, 6.5 minutes in the first period. I think Kaiden Guhle nailed it, where the early power play allowed Patrik Laine to get some touches, get a couple looks towards the net in a less pressurized environment, so you feel like you're in the game. Or an offensive player, you want the puck. You need touches of the puck, and Laine got that in the first few shifts. How about him and Slafkovsky and Doc were pretty good. Hit somebody his first minute out there, a couple shot attempts. They seem to be working well off each other. He looks very comfortable. He doesn't look sort of out of shape, never really looked particularly tired, moving the puck cleanly. For a guy who hasn't played in forever, that's really pretty good. You can see the glimpses of the high-end skill he has with the puck that the Montreal Canadiens are happy to have on the ice.
Again, the injury took place on September 28th. Wondering if he'd look a little tentative out there as well, but all systems go, yeah.
No, I mean, when you go back in the lineup, the first thing he says, take a hit, give a hit.
Get right into it.
Get right into it. And the first thing he did, the first shift, 20 seconds, and he tried to hit somebody. Which is great. If you're worried about your knee or whatever's you've hurt, you're not going to be that physical. He was right away. It's a good sign. Have you noticed a trickle-down effect when it comes to the rest of the lineup now? Well, I mean, I think everyone wants to try to play with the puck. But for the Montreal Canadiens, they know, as Frankie alluded to, the Islanders are not a fast team. They can be a structured team, but they're not a fast team. So if you're a fast player, Josh Anderson, you're a fast player. You skate off the puck. You can beat guys up the ice. And Armia's beating guys up the ice, and it's a wonderful feeling. You're like, you know what? If we make one good pass, one chip in support, we can create chances. And I think the best chances for the Canadiens at 5-on-5 were off the rush, with speed, beating the Islanders, just with their ability to skate faster. And there's Josh Anderson going again, and good opportunity here for Kaiden Guhle. Great save by Sorokin. But you love to see that, and that would be the message. Move off the puck, skate, 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 take your lanes, get your spots, and you can beat them up the ice for chances. We know it's been an up-and-down season for Sam Montembeault. Again, he hasn't won in about 2 weeks now. What did you notice about his first period? Well, it seems like, given some of the news that's been breaking today, Sam Montembeault should be in a pretty good mood. Should be full of confidence that people around the NHL believe that he is an elite-level goaltender playing in a tough situation. And a couple saves. He wasn't particularly busy in that first period, but this first little sequence on Simplakov, huge saves. Another one later on a tip. You need those timely saves. It's a low-event game. Probably not going to be a ton of goals. The margins are going to be very tight, so you have to be super sharp. And Montembeault, I don't know if he's watching the Insider Trading, but if he was, he'd be feeling full of confidence heading into tonight's game. So what are we talking about exactly? Well, that's called a tease. At this time tomorrow, we will know the rosters for the upcoming Four Nations face-off. When we come back, we'll give you a sneak peek of Canada's projected lineup. Stick with us.
at the intermission. It continues along as we welcome in Frankie Corrado. And the tease that we got to break, yes, the Four Nations face-off. The rosters have been submitted. They will be made public tomorrow. But our insiders and insider trading getting a little sneak peek at the projected Team Canada. So we were saying how many times we're going to say projected. Well, let us show you now the forwards. Again, projected forward lines for the Four Nations face-off, this being Team Canada. Some surprises there, to be sure, and we're not seeing the name Connor Bedard on that list. Again, the first 6 players were announced at the end of June. Another name we don't see on here, MJ, that being Nick Suzuki.
Yeah, so it's fascinating because one of the conversation anytime best on best comes up is, are we taking the most talented 13 forwards, or are we trying to build a roster full of players that play identifiable roles? And I think if they were taking the most talented guys, Nick Suzuki would have had a better chance, if this projected roster is correct, of making the team, because he probably has more offense than Sam Bennett, but Sam Bennett's more of a checker, can play a grinding kind of role. So I think that maybe hurt what Nick Suzuki's chances of trying to make the team, because it seems like they're just putting a team together in specific roles on specific lines as opposed to the best players. And the same thing maybe holds true for Cole Caulfield. Because if you're the Americans, you're like, are we going to put Dylan Larkin on the 4th line? We put Alex Tuch. Are we going to put whoever might go on there? If you're taking the most talented players, you're taking Cole Caulfield, clearly. But I think if you're trying to fill the team out with roles, checkers, penalty killers, well, then Cole Caulfield maybe is only competing with the top 4 wingers, which is much harder for him to make than the top 8, all of them together, top 8 or 9. And I think that's as much as anything why those 2 guys may find themselves on the outside looking in.
And Caulfield saying whatever happens, happens. It's not going to change.
What else can you do?
Yeah, exactly. You got to play
as
well as you can.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so we showed you the forwards again for the projected, I keep saying projected, Team Canada roster for the Four Nations face-off. We're taking a look at the projected defensive pairings now. Again, those original 6 players were announced at the end of June, so this is a long time coming. We're finally getting all the pieces together. The last group that we have to unveil now, of course, the projected goaltenders, and Montreal fans will be interesting to see that Sam Montembeault is in there as one of the 3 goaltenders. Frankie, are you surprised by this?
Okay, I'm not surprised, Laura, and MJ, stay with me on this.
Okay.
You want Binnington and Hill because they've won Stanley Cups? No problem. Those are your goalies. You can have them. Your other goalie, I'm not going to call it the 3rd goalie because I know you're going to nitpick that, but your other goaltender, are you evaluating the ceiling or are you evaluating the floor? Because if you're evaluating the floor, you could look at guys like Logan Thompson or Cam Talbot and say maybe they've had less ups and downs in their season. But if you're evaluating the ceiling, who is the best on their best night? Samuel Montembeault has had more nights out of that group of goalies where you said nothing could beat that guy tonight. So for me, if you're looking at, what you want to evaluate, I think with the Team Canada in front of this goaltender, you say, give me the ceiling of what I know this guy can do on his best night with a really good team in front of him. And Sam Montembeault fits that bill more than the other goalies that he would have been fighting for that spot with.
I appreciate what you're trying to say there, and it does make sense. We're not going to discount that Logan Thompson has been an all-star in the NHL, that Logan Thompson has been lights out good for a really good team. He also has won a cup, even though he hasn't been a starter. I don't know what else Logan Thompson could have done. And Sam Montembeault, Canada's not in a spot where their goalies are good enough, Frankie, where they could take anyone but a potential starter. Because whoever gets named to this team has the legit opportunity to be the #1 guy, because the other guys are not so well-defined. There's no Carey Price. There's no Marty Brodeur. There's whoever's playing best in that moment. And I would just be more comfortable and confident, I think, with a Logan Thompson in there or a Joey Daccord if he was available than Sam Montembeault, even though we've seen him play well at times.
And that's what it kind of felt like, right? That this was the most wide open position for a lot of debate.
Total crapshoot.
The names that we were talking about a month ago are totally different than the projected ones that we're seeing here. Okay, last but not least, great to see Patrik Laine on the ice here tonight. The projected Finland roster for the Four Nations has him on it. Agree? Disagree?
100% disagree. He's Patrik Laine. Let's not forget how great this guy is, and it's Finnish players who play in the NHL. So the pool of prospects that you can choose from is so much smaller. I'm always going to take Patrik Laine. I don't care if he's coming off injury, for his upside that Frankie just talks about, for his difference-making ability, for his comfort playing a big-time role. We've seen him be a star, Frankie, for Finland. I think it's a no-brainer. I'm not surprised at all Laine's on the Finnish roster.
Well, the other thing that really has to factor in, MJ, is the fact that you're naming the roster today or yesterday. It's getting announced tomorrow. The tournament is not right now. So Patrik Laine has plenty of time to get up to speed, get his game going. And we're seeing flashes of it already with Patrik Laine. It doesn't take him that long to get going. So it is a no-brainer that he would be on the Finland team because you have that much runway to work with.
Yeah, a little over 2 months away now until the Four Nations face-off gets underway in Montreal. Perhaps Team Canada will go to San Montembeau for that first game.
If he's playing best, he will. When they call their goalie scout Frankie Corrado, they certainly will.
There you go. Frankie, we got another thing to put on the business card. Appreciate it. We'll let you get back to work. Frankie and Brian will have the call of the second period as we still await our first goal tonight between the Islanders and the Canadiens. Nothing on top.
Pittsburgh up on Florida?
Pittsburgh on top.
Are they back?
Pittsburgh.
We're so back, baby. Like, come on.
Malkin scoring in this game as well. So 2-1 the score there. And again, Edmonton in action, Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Calgary tonight as well. We will get you some of those highlights in our second intermission. Meanwhile, it was, yes, Montreal with the shots advantage 7-5. The Islanders will start the second period on the power play. That power play ranked 31st in the NHL. So without further ado, it's back to Brian and Frankie at the Bell Center.
Laura, Montreal's penalty kill this year, 8th in the National Hockey League. Josh Anderson, it was not a great season last year, Frankie, but full credit to Anderson. He did tape in the offseason. He worked hard. He's come back with a different element to his game, penalty killing. How about that fight in New York versus Jacob Trouba? That was unbelievable.
He had another good fight in Washington as well. Like Josh Anderson, he is tough, he is heavy, but he's playing a very direct game full of speed, and that is helping him. That is helping the Montreal Canadiens because he is able to help his team in more ways. And the Montreal Canadiens benefit greatly when Josh Anderson is engaged in games physically.
It was a tough game in Boston for Montreal, that Centennial game for the Bruins, but they were 2 for 2 on the penalty kill in that game, and they control. Matheson delays, and he'll rip it in for Montreal. Dobson back on the puck, as the Islanders have really struggled when it comes to special teams this season thus far. Here's Brock Nelson over the line. He'll get it back in the corner. Nelson, watched by Matheson. Horvat for Dobson. Back to Nelson. Brock Nelson in front, wanted the tip, nobody home. And hustling is Josh Anderson. He's got the puck shorthanded for Montreal, and he'll drift that in.
Brian, you're not joking about this Islanders power play. A couple games ago, Patrick Waugh, after the game, said it was awful for us, a game against the Washington Capitals. He was very honest and blunt about his team's power play performance.
Well, Lee leads the team, 2 power play goals. He shoots it right on. Montembeau was ready. Horvat able to keep it in. Paul Mary sent across, and that was a good look. The one-timer Nelson, though, he couldn't get good wood on it, and it's sent down to Sorokin.
And Noah Dobson's back on the first power play unit. Dennis Cholowski, who's out of the lineup tonight, he had been running the first unit for the last few games, with Noah Dobson back in his old familiar spot.
Dobson had 70 points last season, just hit the 200-point mark in his career as that came right to Pajot in the high slot. Pollock's shot hit a body, went wide. Number 2, no Matt Barzal right now for the Islanders as Pajot walks it right in. Man, did that open up. And he shot it either just wide or Montembeau got a touch. Here's Holmstrom. Down low, Ziplikov. Gouli laid out, got a stick on it. Good job by Gouli. It's kind of become Gouli's trademark. He lays out, he blocks shots, and he got the better of the Islanders there.
He's so consistent. He does, so much so well. And it's like Marty St. Louis never really has to worry about what Caden Gouli is giving him on a night-to-night basis. And You know, Brian, you talk about the Islanders and the lack of skill that they have. Well, they don't have Barzal. They don't have Duclair. You could argue two of those players, they're two of the most skilled players on that team. And here's a chance for the Islanders as Caden Gooley's going to stretch out, but Pajot takes the shot. As Montembeault tries tracking that down, it just hits the post and goes wide. Best chance of the game so far for the Islanders.
Pelech also out for them on the back end. Duclair's begun skating on his own, which is good news. So, and then the former Hab, Mike Riley, with that heart condition that was recently discovered. So, like every team in the NHL, the Islanders have some injuries to deal with right now.
Just when the Islanders lose skilled players, you really notice it in their lineup.
Matt Martin trying to chip it away from Matheson, who has the puck. Matheson, watched by Cizikas. He'll play it up for Suzuki. Cross ice, here's Lane Hudson. Newhook stretching to stay on side, and Hudson has to take it back to center. Lane Hudson. Cole Caulfield back to Matheson. 5-on-5 hockey, nearly 3 minutes gone here in this second period. Newhook couldn't handle that pass clean. Siplikov will chip at it and then throw it into Montembeault. In comes Palmieri, slashing for it. Hudson, he'll pick it up below the goal line. Checked by Nelson. He'll play it up to Caulfield. Back to Hudson in the corner. Hudson dishes away and gets it to Matheson. Matheson will flip. Nelson high. Jumps up, keeps it in. Palmieri, the check from Matheson, and then Kirby Dach able to help defensively and take that away.
There's a good job by Kirby Dach. Matheson doesn't get it out, but you help your defenseman, you bail him out. Strong in a stick battle, puck gets out.
Brock Nelson to the right side. And so much talk, Four Nations, about Canada's roster. You wonder if Cole Caulfield will crack the lineup for the United States. Of course, all unveiled tomorrow. Siplikov behind the net. Siplikov reverses. Horvat, he's there, he leaves it as Ryan Polak works it in deep for the Islanders. Holmstrom trying to kick it free. There's Slafkovsky. Pass behind Laine. Siplikov, the only player in the first period with 2 shots on net. Holmstrom in, and Montembeault, point blank. Holmstrom denied by Montembeault. He's made some quality stops, Frankie, to keep it a 0-0 game.
That is a confident-looking goaltender in Samuel Montembeault, and Patrick Laine is going to bring this puck back into his own zone. If you do that, you have to be sure you're going to make a good play. As he chucks it off the boards, Jaden Struble isn't able to handle the bounce, and bounce goes right to Lee, who tees up Holmstrom, and Montembeault comes out and challenges. That goes off his shoulder. It's out of play, but one of those things that's part of the game for Patrick Laine where you almost forget, you know, in certain situations what you probably should do. And if you're going to bring pucks back, you just have to be so sure that you're going to make the right play and execute on it.
Alexander Romanov works it back into the zone. Savard in the corner, trying to play it around the wall. Finally dug out by Jake Evans. He's going to lift to space. Heineman trying to race in, nearly did, but Polak able to knock that away just in time. Armia, Evans, and again it was chipped away. Polak worked it away from him. Puck in the corner. Armia, the backhand shovel all the way around for Savard. Cross for Evans. Jake Evans, wrist shot, hit a body, and Armia swipes at it, couldn't get it on net. Yoel Armia again, over the blue line. Armia drops, Heineman, wrist shot up high, and Sorokin fought it off. Arbor Xhekaj thought about the shot for Savard. Savard is going to walk it in, still has the puck. Xhekaj in deep. Arbor Xhekaj thought about the wraparound, still with it. Xhekaj protects the puck, creating space, holds up, kick, save Sorokin. Horvat the other way. Bo Horvat over the line. Anders Lee into the corner for Horvat. Pass in front, Armia's got it. Anderson will chip and chase. Josh Anderson barrels in on Mayfield. Hutton there as well. Mayfield the backhand. Pajot trying to chip it around Struble. Struble recovers. Gets to Gallagher. Gallagher trying to walk it in. Goes around Mayfield. Hutton will bang it along the boards. All the way to the right side. Wallstrom's got a step. Wallstrom, wrist shot, a weak one behind the net. Gallagher works it up quickly. Alex Newhook Burst of speed, Newhook, and taken away by the rookie George in time. Good defensive play, Isaiah George.
He is a good skater. We got to see him last year at the Memorial Cup, and Dale Hunter leaned on him a lot. You could see that he was going to have the makings of a good skating defenseman in the NHL, and they called up a few guys before they eventually got to Isaiah George, but they finally got to him, and he's played well.
Now the young man looking for his first goal in the National Hockey League, former London Knights, as you alluded to. Samuel Montembeault on the eve of the decision for Team Canada in the goalie situation, while Montembeault having a strong game thus far for Montreal. Penalty coming up. Big hit Cizikas, who is known for his checking. Caulfield, he got clipped, and Cole Caulfield slow to get off. Extra attacker out as Caulfield drew the penalty. Delayed call right now, and extra attacker out for Montreal. Nick Suzuki throws that cross ice, Matheson. And finally, the Islanders possess the puck, so the Montreal Canadiens a chance on the power play. The Habs are 0-2 on the power play versus the Bruins, but a chance next versus Patrick Roy and the Islanders.
Well, Cole Caulfield leads the Montreal Canadiens in goals with 16, and he's going to have another chance to improve on that on the power play, as he's the one who draws the penalty, and he's down low helping out in his own zone, and Hudson Fasching is going to take a 2-minute high-sticking penalty, and I'm sure everyone in the Bell Center wants to see this Montreal Canadiens new-look power play back at it. It looked dangerous and threatening in the first period, and everyone will hope that continues in the second period.
Caulfield, 7 power play goals, tied for second in the NHL. Back to him, Caulfield could have ripped it, he'll pass it off. Laine for Hudson, to Laine. Laine, wrist shot stopped, and Slavkovsky the screen in front. Brock Nelson, they'll clear for the Islanders and flip that down the ice. We talked about it coming into the night, Frankie, the Islanders, the least penalized team when it comes to penalty minutes in the NHL.
Don't they have to be?
Suzuki, Caulfield, Hudson, they'll work it around. Hudson, Suzuki, back to Lane Hudson. Laine thought about the one-timer, rips it, score! Welcome to the Bell Center, Patrick Laine! His first as a Montreal Canadien, his first on the power play, and the Bell Center comes alive.
You can't write it any better than that for Patrick Laine. Back at the Bell Center, his first game as a Montreal Canadien, and Ryan Pulock, you cannot give Patrick Laine that much time and space. He's got way too good of a shot. He gets it on his stick, underhandles it, and then rips it right past Ilya Sorokin. Really nice job. You can see him lean right on that stick. And that is just what's so enticing about Patrick Laine. That shot, not everyone can rip the puck like that. Patrick Laine gets his first as a Canadian.
Here's Dvorak. He'll stop. Gallagher behind the net. Brendan Gallagher. Up top, goalie. Matheson, one-time bomb in the glove as the crowd salutes Laine. And Frankie only fitting the assist, Suzuki, the captain, and of course the young phenom on the blue line, Lane Hudson.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more goals just like this by Patrik Laine in a Canadiens uniform. And what a great start for Laine. And the bench reaction tells it all. Everyone fired up for their teammate who's been through so much the last few seasons.
His first game in the NHL since December 14th. He actually scored in the game, his last game. He scores in this one, his return, his Montreal Canadiens NHL debut. What a rocket with that wrist shot. You know, he kind of dusted it off. You thought the one-timer, Frankie, he reloaded, and my goodness, Sorokin didn't stand a chance. Up top, what a beauty. Here's Matheson. Little head fake. Pajot got taken down. Anderson is going to go to the box.
Montreal 17, 2-minute interference.
Now, these ones are always tricky right off the faceoff because everyone is trying to run a little bit of interference off a faceoff to a certain degree. It depends what you can get away with on any given night, but you can see Josh Anderson, he steps right in on Pajot. Now, that's Pajot's lane. So Anderson gets into Pajot's lane, and Pajot goes down, so the call gets made, but it's just a little too much interference in a situation where everyone is running a little bit of interference.
New York 0 for 1 on the power play, one shot. They'll come again. Palmieri waiting, shooting. Montembeault stops that. Dobson at the line. Palmieri up for Dobson. He'll shoot and fighting through Montembeault. Then he got spun around by Lee in front. Palmieri on the puck, up for Dobson. Dobson, Palmieri. He'll wait in, shoots, and that's up high. Matheson got down to block, and that came out, and the Islanders can't touch. They're in offside.
A lot of attention being paid to Bo Horvat in the middle of the ice in that bumper position. It's something he's really good at. He's got a quick release, and if you could just lay it into an area there for him, he's got this sweeping little wrist shot he can get off, and the Canadiens have obviously seen that in the pre-scout because they're giving Palmieri a lot of time and space and taking away the bumper spot of Horvat.
And because of the intentional offside, face-off all the way down to New York territory. Horvat, Suzuki, the 2-14s. Both players former MVPs in the OHL playoffs, the Wayne Gretzky Award back in the Ontario Hockey League. Dobson, he'll lay it back. Picked up by Brock Nelson. Nelson, some pace through center. He'll hand it off to Horvat. Horvat, the backhand in. Palmieri trying to pick up the puck. Dvorak in the corner. Lee swatting at it one-handed. Arbor Jacki in the mix. Under a minute to go in the minor. Anderson still in the box. Here's Dobson at the line. Dobson. He'll dish it off. Horvat. Dobson, one-timer that hit Lee, and it ends up in the glove of Montembeault. Good job by Montembeault. A lot of traffic still in front of him, and he found it, and he gloved it down.
And Samuel Montembeault is going to have to battle through some big bodies in front of him. Lee is one, Nelson is another. When those guys get in front, it's hard to move them once they establish that body positioning, but good job by Montembeault as Noah Dobson didn't get all he wanted off that shot. It's a little bit of a flubbed one-timer, which can be difficult for the goaltender to track because it's almost like a knuckle puck coming in at you, but Montembeault stays with it.
Off the draw, back to Dobson. Dobson at the line. 35 seconds left in the minor penalty. Nelson, Horvat, back to Nelson. Nelson to Dobson. Dobson, Palmieri for Lee. Horvat kicks at it, comes to Nelson. Nelson, Horvat lost it in his skates, and a diving Jake Evans will clear to center. And you talked about, you know, the loss of talent. Matt Barzal is such a creative player, and he's a big loss right now offensively for the Islanders. Savard will walk it in. Wrist shot, stop. Savard follows up. Good drive as Anderson's ready to come out. 5-on-5, and the Islanders 0 for 2 now on the power play at the Bell Center on this Tuesday night. Midway point of the second period, Patrik Laine has scored in his first game as a Montreal Canadian. Power play goal, and that's where we stand, 1-0. As you said, Frankie, can't script it much better than that.
And he deserves it. Patrik Laine has been through so much, from the injuries to the mental health and the initiatives that he's taken up in the community here in Montreal. It's really nice to see him get rewarded on home ice.
Laine again, little flip, Slafkovsky cutting in, space, he shoots, and Romanov got a stick on it. It's out of play. Yeah, it is great to see Patrik Laine hurt in the preseason, that knee collision. He is back, and Avs fans are hoping he finds the back of the net for many years to come. It's 1-0. Of the game.
Kirby Dach this morning after morning skate said that Christmas came early for the Montreal Canadiens. Well, Christmas also came early for Patrik Laine in his first game as a Hab at the Bell Center on the power play. Gets his first goal of the season, his first goal in a long time. A great moment for Patrik Laine and the Montreal Canadiens.
And, you know, Patrick himself said this morning, I should be patient. You know, it's been a long time, but...
Yeah, right. How about get your first goal in your first game? How's that for patience?
He said he didn't know how it was going to play out. He said he had to be patient, but he was hoping it'd be like riding a bike, come out and do something special, and he did. So good for him. It's been a long journey for him back in the NHL. Laine's got the puck. Laine. Kirby Dach up the right side. Dach continues to fish for it. In comes Laine again on Mayfield. Slafkovsky in his chest, trying to knock it down. Pajot there. Pajot takes a look, and he'll fire it away. And that'll pop into the bench of the New York Islanders. 9 minutes to go here in this second period.
Well, all eyes were on Patrik Laine coming into this game, and he hasn't disappointed. And if you go back and look at some of Patrik Laine's prior statistical seasons, and he's been such a productive player. The goal scoring is always what comes to mind, but the playmaking ability has certainly been there. And he's played on some teams. Winnipeg, when he was there, wasn't the most potent offensive team. Columbus hasn't been a great team. You wonder, what can Patrik Laine do with more? And if the Montreal Canadiens become more as a team because of him, who's going to be around him?
Struble in. Wrist shot just wide. Man, he ripped that, but he missed by a few feet. Suzuki round the boards. Struble, far point, chips it in. Right to Dobson. He'll play it to Ziplakov, who gives and goes to the net. Kaiden Guhle checks him. Ziplakov hit by Guhle again, but he'll protect the puck. Nelson in the corner. He'll hand it off. Dobson in deep, centering feed. Put it in front, and Isaiah George pinching in. He lost an edge. Palmieri throws it up top. Dobson, and his shot hits Struble. Goes into the corner. Nelson back for Dobson. George takes a look, and that was blocked by Newhook. Dobson picks it up. Dobson in front, Palmieri. Right on his tape, but he couldn't get the shot off.
Well, that's a great job by Caden Gooley. He sold out there. He said, I am taking away Palmieri.
Look out, Cole Caulfield. In alone, Caulfield shoots big, stops Sorokin. He had Suzuki with him, but you knew Caulfield was shooting that all day long.
Now, if you're Caulfield, you got the hot hand. You take that shot any day of the week. Sorokin, nice job staying with him. And that's the thing about Sorokin. He keeps the Islanders in so many games with situations like that. Such a reliable goaltender.
Varlamov, the backup tonight. He's listed as day-to-day, but good enough to be the backup goalie. Savard at the line. Keeps it in. Gallagher in the corner. Brendan Gallagher. Romanov hits him. Arbor Xhekaj. Wrist shot. A wicked one. Loose in front. Down and out. Gallagher poking. Anderson tried to spin and let it fly, and he couldn't. And again, Sorokin under siege here a little bit in the last few minutes.
Well, this is New York Islanders hockey. Sorokin keeps them in the game until at some point they try and find a way to get some offense. But for the Canadians, they've done a nice job of tilting the ice and pouring the pressure on the Islanders in the second period.
Habs fans getting into it. Arbor Xhekaj, he'll rip it in. In comes Jake Evans on Mayfield. Pops free for Heineman. Evans from a knee. Trying to get to it, Armia, and there's Armia. Couldn't get the pass clean. And Hudson Fasching chips to the right side. Cizikas, foot race with Struble. Struble, Cizikas in the corner. Hutton works it back in deep. Fasching below the goal line. Struble trying to dig it free, and Armia will find the puck. Flips to the right wing for Jake Evans. Evans works it around Mayfield. Over the line, still with it. Evans was dancing in as he's checked in the corner by Grant Hutton. Fasching from his own zone, he'll flip to the right side, and the Islanders will start a change. Shouldn't be surprised. The last 3 meetings between these two teams have been decided by a single goal, and 5 of the last 7 decided by a goal. So they've played pretty close the last few. Laine spun around in the corner. Slafkovsky backs him up and couldn't find Matheson. Gooley back for Montreal.
Right idea by Slafkovsky. Laine loses the puck. You're the second player into that battle, just unable to connect at the point, but the intention is there.
Patrick Laine, little flip in around George. Laine tracks in. Dobson below the goal line. Plays into the corner. Played quickly for Wahlstrom. Wahlstrom has Pajot streaking in. Wahlstrom delays. Pajot lost the puck. Hudson got back and up for Laine. He's got some space. Patrick Laine assessing. Trying to drop it off, and he was checked off the puck. Then Slafkovsky barrels in, and he hits George.
That's 2 on 1 shift for Slafkovsky. What a shift.
Romanov leads the rush, hands it off, pass across. Wallstrom towards the net, hit a body. Matheson through the crease, and Hudson clears it away. Ziplikov hit by Slafkovsky, but he cuts in. Ziplikov, Pollock shot right on, and Montembeault will hold with 4:44 to go here in this second period. A power play goal from Patrick Laine. Cole Caulfield, though, 16 on the season. Breakaway, chance for 17, stopped by Sorokin.
Another assist for Lane Hudson puts him up to 15 on the season. And when you compare him to some of the other elite defensemen around the NHL and what they do, you take a look at Lane Hudson's numbers. He is right up there in a number of categories. The one that really jumps off the page to me, slot pass completions. Yes, you think about defensemen, you think about the big booming shot from the point, but playmaking ability, when it comes to other defensemen around the NHL, no one is making passes across the slot like Lane Hudson does. That's Adam Fox, Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes. Lane Hudson is number 1.
Romanov right on. Sharp angle shot. Montembeault sees it and stops it. And Hudson, to your point, another assist. He's now tied for second in rookie scoring with Logan Stankoven. Nelson Suzuki. Habs captain wins it. And that chip went off Arbor Jackeye off his back, but Newhook has the puck. He'll bring it to center. Newhook works it in deep. Romanov back. Romanov takes the body check. Caulfield there first, try to swing it in front. Pollock into the corner. Check by Suzuki as he lifts his stick. Arbor Jackeye look go, and he tied up Nelson. And that's a penalty. Nelson probably would have had a pretty good look. Savard was trying to get back. So the Islanders, another chance in the power play.
Montreal, 72, minor penalty for tripping.
Now that's one of those ones where you probably have to concede and just take the penalty if you're Arbor Jackeye. He's trying to bring this puck into his wheelhouse, but as he does it, Nelson's applying too much pressure. He can't do it quick enough. It's a nice play by Nelson to knock the puck away, but Arbor Jackeye's got David Savard on the other side of the ice. I'm not convinced Savard would have been able to catch him, and Marty St. Louis' facial expressions always amusing on the bench.
Here's Dobson. Islanders 0 for 2, 4 shots. Palmieri. He'll dish off. Lee. Palmieri. Back to Lee. In front for Horvat. He'll leave. Dobson. Palmieri, a weak one-timer. He fanned on it, and that allows Montreal to clear. Evans will flip that to space.
Again, looking for Bo Horvat in the bumper spot. That time Jake Evans took a beeline from the point right down to cover off that spot so the pass couldn't get to Horvat.
Islanders, Frankie, 7-1-1 when they score a power play goal this season, but we've talked about it. The power play, not that good. In front, Nelson. What a stop. On cue, Nelson all alone, and Montembeault, another quality save.
This is where Samuel Montembeault was going to have to come up big. You're in the last 5 minutes of the second period, and Sorokin has made a couple big saves the other way. Now you need to answer to make sure this isn't a tie game, and Samuel Montembeault does that. Really nice job. Nelson, all alone in front of the net, gets a good swipe at it. He gets a lot on this, but he's not able to elevate it. Montembeault covers up the rebound.
Gateguli trying to clear. He can't. Nelson holds it in. There's Dobson. Palmieri waiting, Palmieri, and right through the crease. Nelson picks it up for Dobson. Nelson, Horvat's in front. Lee, Nelson, look Dobson's way, back to Lee. Nelson, across, Palmieri one-timer, and Montembeault pushed across. And Dobson can't hold it in. You know, Montembeault's number is solid against the Islanders as well. His save percentage coming in .927, 3-2-3 record. He's played a lot of hockey, Frankie. His 12th appearance in the last 14 games for Samuel Montembeault.
It's been a little bit peaks and valleys for him, but the good games have been really good for Montembeault.
Here's Hutton, race shot, stop, rebound, Pajot! Montembeault got him too! Second effort, Montembeault. Pollock across, one-time drive. Holmstrom shut down as well. Montembeault has been dynamite. Holmstrom across Pajot's side of the net, and Struble got his stick in the lane just enough. And the fans chanting Monty. I mean, hey, with Patrick Roy in the house, both goalies putting on a show. Pajot works it across. Pollock's shot never made its way through. Another good kill by Montreal. And the best penalty killer, Samuel Montembeault.
This is one of those nights where it's going to have to be really greasy or really special to beat Samuel Montembeault because he looks sharp and dialed in.
Kirby Dach trying to power his way in. Well, Sorokin coming off a 29-save shutout in his last game versus the Sabres. Montembeault was brilliant. His last win, that was the game against the Oilers, where he was perfect as well. 6 shots on that power play for the Islanders. Montembeault was special. Look out, the bench was open, and that hit the open bench, so it deflected out of play, and now Martin was having a chat there with Patrik Laine.
Well, the refs are getting together to discuss if this might be a too many men. It was Cizikas who was getting off the ice. It was a little slow, and it hit his skate.
Just a face-off reset.
Okay, so no penalty, just going to be a face-off, but I don't think you could have called that too many men. It was pretty accidental, and Patrick Roy looks on, but how about Samuel Montembeault on that penalty kill?
Wow.
First save, falls back, desperation, makes the second save. What a sequence for the Canadiens goaltenders. Pajot's not able to elevate that. That is quite the performance by Montembeault so far. Very competitive in his net.
Hey man, both these guys vying for the Polestar electrifying save of the game. And maybe one more to come, we'll see. Haven't crowned that yet.
Are you picking that tonight?
I would right now if I had to. Dobson in, shoots, and that hit Doc, goes into the corner. Look out in front, Lee, and again Montembeault through the pads and score. Second effort, Anders Lee beats him, and it's a 1-1 game with 1:03 to go in the second period. Tenacious effort by Lee, evens the score.
This is a close call at the blue line. It's a clearing attempt that doesn't get out, and everyone thinks this puck is coming out of the zone. It doesn't. Anders Lee sneaks in behind everyone. As you see, Kirby Dach, it's just a flip off the board. Slavkovsky takes a swing at it, but Hudson and Guhle were too high in the zone. They didn't see Lee behind him, and it's a second, third attempt that eventually gets behind Samuel Montembeault, who makes the first save, makes the second one, but it eventually slides past him on the goal line, and that was such a close call. Noah Dobson keeps that in just barely, and it leads to the first Islanders goal of this game.
Anders Lee, his 11th of the season. They're still working the iPads pretty hard over there on the Montreal bench.
It's so close. I mean, you have to be able to see white ice. It has to be conclusive, and that's not going to be worth the challenge.
1-1 game, final stages of this second period. And full credit to Montembeault. I mean, he stopped the first one, nearly got the second one, but Lee finally beats him. Here's Nelson streaking in. Suzuki at his own blue line for Gallagher. Brendan Gallagher shoots it in. And you said it, Frankie, it was either going to have to be like a high-end goal or maybe a bit of a sneaky, greasy one. And that hard work by Lee able to beat Montembeault.
It was smart by Lee. He saw both Habs defensemen kind of cheat up because they thought the puck was coming out of the zone, and he didn't hurry to get back.
Puck battle, high slot, controlled by the Islanders. Nelson delays and floats it in. Arbor Jackeye back. Centering feed, just held in by the Islanders. Palmieri, a little bit of space, dancing in. Palmieri, weak wrister. Montembeault was ready.
Be interesting to hear what MJ has to say about that during the intermission, because as a defenseman, I would say, well, you have to hang back. You have to wait till the puck is out of the zone before you start creeping up. But I wonder if he would say, well, Kirby Dach, you have to get that puck out. If you're making a play off the glass, that has to be hard enough that you can make a play on it if you're Slavkovsky, so it eventually comes out of your zone.
3.8 to go, icing against Montreal. Face off to the left of Montembeault. It'll be Suzuki Pajot. Jean-Gabriel Pajot trying to win this one for a late strike. And the puck in the corner. Late centering feed, but the horn sounds. So the late goal from Lee in this second period, and we got a 1-1 hockey game through 40 minutes.
Well, a lot of the people that came to the Bell Center tonight got to see what they wanted to see, a Patrik Laine goal, and Samuel Montembeault with an unbelievable second half of that second period. Ultimately, Lee gets a goal, and now you have a chance to win a period and win a game if you're the Canadiens.
Patrick Laine has scored in this game. Molson Canadiens hockey on TSN intermission is next. Laura, Mike, Kenzie have you covered, and Arpon Basu stops by with a snow. Is next.
You were made to chase your passions. We were made to put them in a package.
Just over. Where the World Juniors get underway. Boxing Day, TSN is your place to be as we will take over the nation's capital. Ottawa will be ground zero. MJ, are you ready? Did you book your flight?
I am ready to go. I'll be there, back and forth. It's going to be, the music just gets me going.
I know, we're there already. It's that time of the year. Well, Patrick Laine, he knows a thing or two about the World Juniors. Here he is, scoring his first goal as a Montreal Canadian. And for that, he earns an interview with Kenzie Lalonde.
Well, Patrick, your first game back as a Montreal Canadian and you score your first goal and you made that iron sing. Did it feel as good as it looked?
Yeah, it felt good. You know, had a long time coming. Almost a year ago. That was the last time I scored and played a game, so it felt good. And I don't think I've ever heard a crowd that loud before, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. A long standing ovation for you. What were you thinking in that moment? What was going through your mind?
Nothing. Just enjoy the moment and just try to focus on the next shift. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
You said this morning you were hoping tonight would feel like just getting on a bike and riding it. So is it a steady ride?
Yeah, it was getting on the bike, but the level was as high as it goes, so it was really, really hard. I feel like my legs were moving not at all, but hopefully it's gonna get better. Obviously touch is a little bit gone and a couple of turnovers, and obviously a tough one at the end against us, but just gonna win a period and get 2 points.
Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was saying I got to be patient. I got to give myself some time. I mean, scoring.
Understandably, though.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, the shot was nice, but not being able to absorb everything, the nice ovation. He's in the moment trying to play. It is hard to be sort of reflective about all he's been through to get to this point, but he's having a nice night.
Well, exactly. And in that short interview, you saw the roller coasters of emotions where, yeah, we just gave up a goal with over a minute to go in the period there. And, yeah, trying to remember the last time I scored a goal. I haven't played in a year. But, I mean, this is pretty
cool stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Pretty cool stuff. Now, before we roll the tape here, real quick, one of the conversations about this power play when Patrik Laine was going to get healthy was, where is everyone going to go? You think about the 3 players on Montreal that you want to touch the puck the most. Caulfield, Suzuki, Laine. What do they all have in common? They all shoot right. So, like, where will they find their spacing, and how will that work? Will they get a little mechanical? So they win a face-off. Laine's on the right side. Caulfield's on the left side. That's where they were most of the time. This time on the entry, Laine gets to the left side. Caulfield, he slides around. He's like, okay, where am I going? Okay, Laine's over there. I'll just slide to the middle. It's like an instinctive, natural movement, and then eventually has it with Laine with the room to score. Now, 2 things to think about. He used a really long stick. So his shot release point is 5 feet away from his skates. So while his skates may be lined up, his release point is not. And I actually have his stick at my house. He shoots it right from the toe. So he's already put the blade 5 feet up from his feet, at another 12 inches for the blade because he shoots it right from the toe. And all of a sudden, the goalie lined up with the body, the puck is coming from 6 feet off angle from where the body's lined up. He's obviously could shoot it hard, but that aspect of it, his stick is, even he's a tall guy, but even for a tall guy, his stick is particularly long. So you're wondering, like, how does he access that corner so cleanly on Sorokin, who's a great goalie? That has a lot to do with it. Yes, the shot's amazing, hard, fast, right up there, but the point of release is so far removed from the body, it's harder to read.
And you think the chemistry is just going to build with his teammates if everybody can stay healthy and stay out on the ice as well?
I think on the power play, I love to see that between Caulfield and him. Because the last thing you want is Caulfield standing over there on his off wing saying, this is where I score all my goals from.
Right.
And Laine be like, but I want to go over there sometimes. They're moving freely and instinctively and not getting static. That's a sign of a good power play.
The no I in team theory there.
No, and everyone's going to score, more space for everybody.
Exactly. Well, speaking of scoring, I mean, Sam Montembeault, you said potentially, again, it was just projected Team Canada roster. It is expected that he will be named to the Four Nations roster tomorrow, kind of having those good feelings going. And we don't want to put Frankie on the spot here, but he kind of announced or jinxed it.
I'll tell you what I think. All right, Frankie, you're exactly right. Montembeault was having an amazing period. Fantastic second period, standing on his head, highlight reel saves. It was going to take something greasy to get past him because he was locked right in because of the news that he may be about to be named to Team Canada. That's a massive deal. So he's having this great saves, crowds erupting, chanting his name as well, and you're almost going to get out of the period cleanly. And you want to know if it's Dach or it's the defenseman? It's both. If you're Kirby Dach, that's going to be a way better play. You can't flip that off the glass with Slafkovsky, no chance to track it, and kept in. And if you're the defenseman, Frankie, one of the two of you can jump up and join the rush. Not both of you. I get one guy's ahead of the forward. If you're Hudson or Goulet, like, you go and leave them behind, you want to join the rush. That's okay. But both go. You need a safety valve in there somewhere. This has been an issue for the Montreal Canadiens throughout this year. This goal and other goals like this. When there is a breakdown, they don't have the layers in behind to support the inevitable breakdowns that happen. Mistakes happen all the time. It's what the game of hockey is all about. But the best defensive teams have systems in place and layers in place. So when there is a breakdown, it's not a breakaway. It's not a 3-on-1. It's a 2-on-2. Or there's someone back there breaking up the play. Both goalies or both defensemen activating, that's a problem. And Kirby Dach, that's not a nearly good enough play at that time of the period or at any time of the game.
Very quickly, if Montreal is going to pull this off, what do you want to see in the third?
I think more of the same, more play in the offense zone. That second period got a little tilted down to where Montreal's end. Keep playing the offense zone. The Islanders struggle in the third. We know this. They don't like playing in the third period. They're a bit fragile right now, so play in the third, make them defend, give them something to think about.
All right, well, this Patrik Laine conversation is not over just yet.
No way.
When our intermission continues, we'll turn it over to Kenzie and Arpon Basu of The Athletic for a brand new installment of Arpon's Notebook. Comes to Patrik Laine's season debut, 2 periods in, 11 minutes, 10 seconds of ice time. More importantly, he's got that power play goal. He is on the board. He's the man of the hour. Already been a memorable night. With more on Patrik Laine in Arpon's Notebook, here's Kenzie.
Thank you, Laura. And you can't write a script any better than this. In his first game back as a Montreal Canadian, Patrik Laine scores on the power play off the bar. He made it ring, and this building erupted.
Yeah, pretty special moment, especially this season. We haven't had that at the Bell Center. It really reminded me of Ilya Kovalchuk scoring in overtime against the Maple Leafs, and this place just exploded. And very similar kind of player type that this fan base has been just yearning for so long. And that's the excitement about Patrik Laine. It was about a shot like he just made in that game, and that's what has these fans so riled up. And really, it's part of the disappointment of this season was not having that kind of special talent on the ice every night.
It was a wicked shot. And you look at so far through 40 minutes of play, what Slafkovsky, him, and Dach have been able to do. Some good cycle chances, but the logic to put them together is starting to show some reasoning.
Yeah, a little bit. 3 big guys, and we've seen some of that. But I mean, Marty was really cognizant of the fact that Kirby Dach's been looking for his game, Slafkovsky's been looking for his game, and was hoping kind of the moment could get them to help each other get through this. And so, obviously Laine has his own set of circumstances tonight, but I think his 2 other line mates have something to work for, and we saw some signs over the course of those first 40 minutes. They got a lot of ice time, and we saw some signs of progression in his 2 line mates. Not just about Patrik Laine on this line. Kirby Dach and Juraj Slafkovsky are of great importance as well.
We look at Slafkovsky as well. He said this morning during our Over the Boards interview, they're looking to be on a new direction, this team. Even if there's been some mishaps up to this point, they are really trying to find a way to close out games. So here they are tied 1-1, and you look to apply that mindset here into the third.
Yeah, and I mean, both him and Dach, look, they've both been talking about the need to be physical and the need to use their large bodies to their advantage. And we saw a bit of that, like right off the bat, right off the opening faceoff, Kirby Dach goes and hits Alex Romanov really hard along the boards. And they've had some nice little interplay, but it's really the physicality that you look for. Slavkovsky made a big hit along the end boards at one point. Now, notwithstanding the turnover by Dach that kind of led to the tying goal, those three have looked really good. You know, this was, I think Martin St. Louis had some trepidation about the three of them and was just hoping that eventually they would look good. But so far, he's given them every opportunity to do it. I mean, it's really, you know, Kirby Dach leads the team in even strike ice time after 40 minutes, and we haven't seen that in a while. So maybe this can be a trigger for those two guys, but like getting Laine going is important. But for the Canadians, getting Kirby Dach and Juraj Slavkovsky on the right track is of great importance as well.
Slav scored the other night a few games ago against Columbus, so he's starting to show some little bit of rhythm, kind of getting back to what his game could be.
Yeah,
here in the
and
NHL.
Kirby Dach is, you know, this morning he said it, you know, I feel I'm playing heavier. I'm starting to play a little heavier. And I asked him, like, is that when you're at your best? Like, does that need to be a part of your game for you to be effective? And he said, I feel when I'm at my best, it just happens. I don't go looking for it. But that game in New York, when he took Mika Zibanejad and threw him into Jonathan Quick and set off a massive melee, somehow didn't get a penalty out of it. But I saw that as a sign that maybe the old Kirby Dach is back. Because when he was really going a couple of years ago, he had that pushback, he had that physicality, and he didn't take any, you know, gruff from people, for lack of a polite term to use. But it's that pushback is important, and that physicality is important. He recognizes that, and he's starting to play with it now.
Dach, Slav, Laine, they've all got that size. They've all got that grit when you look at them work together.
Yeah, they got to use it. That's the thing. And if they can get that at Dach and Slav, I don't think Laine is that guy, but Dach and Slavkovsky need to be that guy, and that'll create space for Laine, so we'll see what happens there.
Make room for that wicked shot.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in for a good rest of the season, Laura. We'll send it back to you.
Well, I don't know about that.
Arpin. All right, well, one thing we do know, we're in for a good third period. It's all tied up 1-1 between the Islanders and the Canadiens. For Vancouver, so Vancouver up 1-0 on Minnesota. Winnipeg and the Blues still zeros on the board after the first period. All right, meanwhile, we've got more for you. Hang on a second.
Busy nights.
The Flames are in action later today. They've lost 4 in a row. Yes,
Columbus,
MJ.
Johnny Gaudreau and his family back at the building. Will be a very emotional night.
It will, absolutely. That's why I got a co-host here.
That's what I'm
Jump
here
in
for.
with those good nuggets here. Patrik Laine, Anders Lee, your goal scorers in this one. Third period is up next, so back again to Brian and Frankie.
Laura, Samuel Montembeault chasing his first win since he beat the Oilers back on November the 18th. Frankie, he deserves one tonight. He has been brilliant, big-time stops, and the best penalty killer the Habs have had all night.
And he's got to play the game within the game, because he's got to go head-to-head with Sorokin, who made a number of big saves. But in the second half of that second period, the Islanders started pouring it on. The Islanders had 6 high-danger chances in that period. Samuel Montembeault was brilliant. His team owes it to him to play in the offensive zone a little bit more and find a way to get a win against the Islanders.
And Frankie, Lane Hudson becomes the first defenseman in Canadiens history to record a point streak of at least 4 games at 20 or younger. So Hudson continues to impress. Underway in this third period in a 1-1 game. Bouncing puck. Caulfield was tangled up with Horvat, who flips that to the Habs line. Matheson will collect over to Gouli. Caden Gouli at center. In comes Newhook, racing after the puck. In on Alexander Romanov. Suzuki in the corner. He gets taken down. Suzuki now on a 4-game point streak as well. 6 points in his last 4 games. And you talked about it, Mike talked about it. The Islanders have been outscored 43-22 in third periods and overtime this year, so go get them. Matheson over the line, lost the puck. Holmstrom has it, and he'll sling that to the right side. Nelson, he'll work it in. There is Hudson. Hudson will play it around the board. Struble there. Struble for Gallagher. Gallagher to Josh Anderson over the line. Anderson cutting in, takes it behind the net. Anderson still protects, throws it up for Struble. Jaden Struble, wrist shot high, wanted the tip. Dvorak was in front. Couldn't find the puck. Dvorak back to work, below the goal line. He lost it, and it comes to Ziplikov. Montembeault out to play it. He'll take a look and dish to Dvorak. Over to Hudson. Hudson now on a 4-game point streak as well for assists in those 4 games. Making some Habs history. Wahlstrom, he'll leave. McLean, space, cutting in, wrist shot, and Montembeault got a touch. Wahlstrom jamming side of the net. And they'll take it free up to Hutton. Hutton. Wahlstrom lets it go into the corner. Pajot keeps it moving. McLean will pick it up. McLean gave it away to Anderson, who was able to power that to center.
Well, it's a good save by Montembeault. Not exactly sure he was trying to save it with the knob of his stick, but a hard shot that knocks the stick out of the hands of Samuel Montembeault.
Good push there from Kyle McLean. His dad, John, the assistant coach, former Stanley Cup winner with the Devils back in 1995. Puck battle won by the Habs. Kirby Dach behind the net. With it, up top, Xhekaj shoots! And he'll squeeze, does Sorokin, who'd lost his stick. Arber Xhekaj actually leads the team in this game, shots on goal. That is number 4 for him.
This is a good release of the puck for Arber Xhekaj. If you're a defenseman and you're skating downhill, it can be such a delicate situation. If the puck is not precisely where you need it to be, it's sometimes hard to get that shot off. You can see Xhekaj lean back. It's almost like a fadeaway shot as he gets it off on Sorokin, who didn't have a stick, and Sorokin has to do a nice job to make sure he squeezes things and doesn't allow that to go under the arm.
Cizikas, Evans line up to take the draw. Cizikas wins it. Play into the corner. Evans chasing after him. Martin will play it away from him. Little pop pass in front. Nice feed Heineman. Got it to Armia, but he couldn't find the net. Evans at the blue line. Puck still available. Heineman tried to jump up. Hudson Fasching. Xhekaj stays right with him. Savard plays it for Armia. Arber Xhekaj takes Fasching out of the play. It's up to Polak. He'll work it across. That wrist shot wide, missed everything as Alexander Romanov couldn't find the mark.
I know Xhekaj took the penalty in the second period, but his game the last few weeks has been steady. It's like he's building a foundation of what he should be as a player and sprinkling in a little more.
Lee in front again, left alone, and Montembeault denied him. Backhand George up for Dobson. Dobson, that hit Caulfield, goes into the corner. Lee back to work. Anders Lee having a second half of this game, and again he was cutting in. He is a big body to deal with in front. Goulet for Suzuki, just over his stick. Horvat there. Pop to center. Caden Goulet has the puck. Goulet, he'll wrist it in, high up the glass. In comes Suzuki. Dobson there. Caulfield, Suzuki, they go to work. Caulfield has it. Newhook, and that hit the post. What a chance, Alex Newhook. Matheson curls away. Matheson shoots, stop, rebound, and Dobson will clean it up. Good little push there, and a 2-on-1 developing. Palmieri. Oh, good job. Matheson got back, took it away, and he'll spring the play up ice. Drop pass, Caulfield, Suzuki to Gallagher. Couldn't get the shot away. Puck available, though. Struble jumps in. Gallagher waits in front. Suzuki! And the right pass, Sorokin kicked it away. Gallagher in the corner. Suzuki try to keep it moving right to Palmieri. And a good push off the rush for Montreal. How about Matheson getting back?
That's opening things up a little bit more. Matheson was potentially beat getting back to his own net, but the Islanders don't force it to the net. They tried a back pass, and Matheson read it perfectly and started things going the other way for the Canadians.
Lane Hudson, burst of speed, centering feed, Gallagher wrister, and he missed wide, and he had Sorokin going the other way. Dvorak chasing it on Mayfield. Gallagher in the corner as well, spinning away from traffic. Up top, Hudson, nice little tangle. Lane Hudson making moves, still with it. Wrist shot, hit a body, goes high and behind the net. Pageau picks it up, tries to clear, and he will get it to center.
You almost lose track of how many head fakes and pump fakes Lane Hudson can throw in there. The one, it looks like he wants to pass to Gallagher. It ends up becoming a head fake, and Mike Matheson had a very eventful last shift. He was up in the play, then he was back in the play to break this up as Palmieri looks back to try and hit Horvat. He's got a player going to the net, ends up turning it over, and that turns into a chance for the Canadians. As Nick Suzuki's in front, he gets taken down by Hutton. And on the initial rush, the Habs didn't have anyone going to the net. It was the Brendan Gallagher shot, and they still got a prime scoring chance. But Ilya Sorokin has been really good through the first 5.5 minutes of this third period.
Arber Xhekaj plays it for Savard, round the board. Romanov hustles, keeps it in. His shot off the leg and wide. 36 minutes gone, third period, 1-1 tie. Fashion below the goal line, had it hacked away. There's Laine, and the high flip to center. Slafkovsky gloves it down for Savard, and he'll shoot it in. Slafkovsky took the hit from Romanov. Pass up for Savard. David Savard in front, and again through that screen, the left pass Sorokin. Goalie's putting on a clinic tonight, Frankie.
And there was a rebound to be had there. Patrik Laine was around it. He ended up turning back the other way. By the way, MJ said he's got a Patrik Laine stick at home. Is he a undercover sniper in his men's league games?
Montreal controls. There is Laine. In down low for Kirby Dach. No goals in his last 16 for Kirby Dach. Love to crack one tonight. Slafkovsky in the corner. Horvat collects the puck at center, using the boards up for Holmstrom. Matheson trying to slash it away from him, and he's successful. There's Slafkovsky. Hesitates in his own zone, buys some time. Juraj Slafkovsky gains the line, and he'll hammer that in.
That's an underappreciated play by Slafkovsky. He doesn't throw a blind backhand pass, doesn't get rid of the puck, holds onto it, and makes a high percentage play.
Anders Lee takes a look, and he'll work it in and then head off for a change. There's Lane Hudson. Lane Hudson hesitates, finds Struble. Puck on his tape, he'll flip it in. Evans racing after it. Checked by Romanov. Heineman picks up the puck for Hudson. Back to Heineman. Heineman towards the net. Oh, deflected and a bit of the glove. Kept out again by Sorokin. Up quickly. Ziplikov. Nelson, space, shoots. Montembeault rebound and cleared in time. Again, Montembeault shut down Nelson that time. And that is a guy with a lot of success in his career versus the Montreal Canadiens. Brock Nelson, 17 career goals versus the Habs, most among any active Islander player. Icing against Montreal.
Well, that was quite the sequence for Samuel Montembeault. Jayden Struble does his best to get back, but he's got to get back through the middle of the ice, and that opens up the wide lane, and Sam Montembeault has to come out, challenge Nelson, does a nice job, doesn't overcommit, doesn't overslide, and open up the far side of the net for Nelson, who, like you mentioned, Brian, 10 goals on the year, has been one of the most consistent scorers for the Islanders for a long time.
Well, Frankie, 3 consecutive years of 34 goals or more. I mean, that's consistency at its best.
On a team that doesn't score a lot.
Honors control, off the draw, puck battle at the line, won by Arber Xhekaj, but he gave it away. Dobson, the backhand in deep. In comes Pageau, checked by Xhekaj, who lost his stick. George works it in deep, there's McLean. Kyle McLean, back up for George, across for Dobson. Dobson floats it in, wanted the tip, he missed Pageau. McLean, back to work, in deep, Wahlstrom. Oliver Wahlstrom up for Noah Dobson, and he'll chip it in again. Pageau Savard in the corner. Dobson gets checked by Newhook. He'll fire it in deep. Suzuki into the corner. George comes in as well. Suzuki has the puck for Montreal. Arber Xhekaj, he'll play it back. And up quickly for Suzuki. Just
you
off his
gotta
stick.
have that pass. If you have that pass, you're attacking on the rush.
Turnover. Newhook to Suzuki. And again, Islanders, though, possess the puck. Holmstrom up the left wing. Holmstrom hits the trailer Lee, and Anderson took it away from him. Holmstrom back to work, and then Anderson broke his stick in half, and he wants a call. Anderson, one-on-one. Josh Anderson, and then he lost the puck.
That is fortunate for Anderson because he chopped Holmstrom's stick right in half. Both officials don't call it.
Holmstrom new stick, and he's back to work on the forecheck. Pass up that right side for Gallagher with Dvorak, and yeah, just offside is Montreal. 10:45 to go in a 1-1 tie. Great to be back in Montreal. It is game 1 of a 5-game homestand for the Montreal Canadiens. Brought to you by Polestar. Discover a new form of electric performance.
Well, we have plenty to work with between both goaltenders, Montembeault and Sorokin, so far in this game. But 25 saves tonight for Montembeault, and there's 2 big ones that he makes. And ultimately, it's a 1-1 game because both goalies have kept their teams in it.
And we've talked about it, Frankie. They've played each other close in their last meetings. This is the second of 3 meetings this season. Game 1, the Islanders won 4-3 at UBS Arena. That was October 19th. That was in a shootout. Caulfield had 2 goals in the loss, and 5 of the last 7 have been decided by a single goal. Now, you talked about it. The Islanders struggling to score goals, 27th in goals per game in the NHL. Special teams have struggled as well. Goaltending has been sharp tonight. Gallagher, wrist shot, never made its way through. Nelson in his own zone. The backhand behind Palmieri. Kyle Palmieri will work it in. Ziplickoff in the corner. He lost it, pops to Gallagher. High backhand to center. Dvorak chases after the puck. Romanov there. Josh Anderson at center, jams for it. Good job, Struble. Able to poke it back to center again. Islanders onside, they'll walk it in. And that wrist shot snapped the stick of Struble. Romanov let it go. Struble without a stick. Palmieri. Struble's gonna kick it. Get it to Dvorak, who took a big shot. That drive and hit a skate in front. Actually hit Palmieri, stung him a little bit. Never found the net as Hudson will flip that in deep.
So obviously you can't kick your broken stick into the puck. You're going to get a penalty, but you can maybe accidentally skate into it and accidentally move it in the direction you're going. And Jayden Struble may have done that there.
Horvat in on Gooley, steals, Bo Horvat. Along the wall, Slafkovsky frees it for Matheson with Dach. Kirby Dach at center, and he'll shoot it in. Slafkovsky, Laine go to work. Laine in the corner. Laine telling Kenzie Lalonde, been a long time. Legs are a little jelly right now, but he's going to find his way. One thing about skating and getting in shape, and then, Frankie, as you know, there's game shape.
The game is so unpredictable. It's so different. You get back to the bench and you feel like you're taking in so much oxygen. Your lungs are burning, but Laine's done a nice job asserting himself.
And a good steal as he drove possession and play for Montreal. Here's Dach. He'll leave. Laine. Another little move around Lee. Goes into the corner. Sort of looks like he's going in slow motion, but he's bringing the play and the puck with him.
He's pretty precise with where he puts the puck when he wants a stick handle.
Arbor Jack guy throws to space. There's Kirby Dach. He'll work it in. There's Slafkovsky. Checked by Holmstrom. Laine in the mix. There's Hutton. Took down Slafkovsky. Evans using the boards. Up top. Here's Xhekaj. Arber Xhekaj. Floats it back in. Slafkovsky. The touch to Evans. Back up top. Pounded in by Savard. Laine behind the net. Patrik Laine. Holds the puck. Laine. Up for Xhekaj. Xhekaj winds up, and that was steered aside by Sorokin, probably going wide, but he played it behind the net. Here's Xhekaj again. Arber Xhekaj waits. Evans. Up top. Savard with it. Shoots, and that hit Mayfield. Islanders desperate for a change here. They've been out there a long time on this shift. Evans curls away from Cizikas. Jake Evans walks it in. Heidemann shoots. Oh, the guy you wanted. And the shot deflects high and over the net.
It's over 2 minutes for Holmstrom and Lee right now on this shift. They cannot get off the ice.
Flip to center. Held in and down by Xhekaj. Evans trying to bring it in quickly, and he will. Armia barrels in on Martin. Matt Martin trying to flip it out, and he is successful, and that will allow the Islanders to get a change in finally.
That's a great shift for a fourth line, and Arber Xhekaj and David Savard did a nice job not panicking at the blue line, made a couple plays, even had a little switch interchange up top to keep the plays alive.
Suzuki rips it in. In comes Newhook. 7 minutes remaining, third period, 1-1 game for Montreal. And the pass from Caulfield all the way to center, picked up by Hudson. Quickly for Newhook. Caulfield cutting in, knocked down by Romanov. That's a great knockdown hand-eye by Alexander Romanov. Fashing for Pajot. With Martin. Pajot and all the way to Montembeault, and alertly he holds it. Pajot was cutting in, looking for a rebound. 26 saves and counting on the night for Samuel Montembeault. To you by Napa Auto Parts.
Lots of anticipation around the Bell Center today. This morning after morning skate, and Patrik Laine making his Montreal Canadiens debut, and what a great debut it's been so far. You can see the refined skills that he have, the puck touches, and ultimately gets a power play goal. And the Bell Center was loving it. Patrik Laine has been very close to as advertised in a very difficult situation, not playing much hockey in a long time.
Off the draw, Romanov shot, hit a stick, flipped to the line, Polak keeps it in. And that hopped on Brock Nelson, playing to the corner. Ziplikov trying to work it to the near point. Polak has it for Nelson again. They'll reset at center and rip it in. Matheson, shoulder check. Sees Ziplikov coming. Matheson, checked by Palmieri, centering feed. And no Islander in front. Zipped up quickly. Anderson, first man in, no icing. Sorokin out to play it. And alertly, he had to, away from a streaking Josh Anderson. Hudson at the line, nice effort that put the Islanders in offside. 6:01 to go in this third period.
So it feels like there's sometimes a reluctancy for defensemen to rim the puck. Everyone grows up now. You got to make the tape-to-tape passes. You got to exit through the middle of the ice. All that stuff is fine and dandy. But sometimes there's something to be said for getting rid of the word rim. Take that out of your vocabulary. Think of it as a bypass. I'm just going to bypass the forecheck quickly and see if we can push the battle out to the blue line. Matheson goes back there. The puck gets turned over. Then there's an Islanders player all alone in front of the net. If you can bypass that, you might want to try that too.
Cole Caulfield up top hits the trailer Matheson towards the net. That hit Suzuki's stick and never made its way through. Dobson, stretch pass for Lee. Lee has gotten better as this game has gone on. Horvat in the corner. Gooley gave it away. Anders Lee up for Dobson. George, wrist shot, and that hit Suzuki. He directed that behind the net. Cole Caulfield in his own zone for Suzuki. Up to Newhook. Newhook at center, and he'll gently nudge that in as the Habs need a change. They'll take one. Newhook lone man in.
You know, prior to this third period, the conversations for both of these teams would have been exactly the same. Win 20 minutes, win a game, and there's some similarities between some of the fragilities we've seen with both these sides. Marty St. Louis has used that word in the past, and for the Islanders, like you mentioned, Brian, minus 17 goal differential in the third period this season.
Arbor Jacki shoots it in. In comes Doc. Doc, first man in the corner. He lets it go. Savard towards the net. Nobody there in that high slot. Picked up by Pajot. Pajot skates it over the line. Try to get the backhand for Romanov. Romanov throws it near the net. Puck battle near wall. McLean, Slafkovsky go down. Juraj Slafkovsky trying to kick it free. Just held in by Polak. Savard in the corner. Wallstrop chasing him down. Arbor Jacki, though, has the puck. And he allows things to cool off here a little bit. 4:18 to go. 1-1 game. Lane Hudson at center. Gains the red line, shoots it in. Armia in the corner. Races in. Just clipped the glass. That was close to delay a game. But it is icing against New York.
Throughout this whole game, you could see the difference. When the game picks up a little pace, it tends to go in the favor of the Canadians. When it slows down and becomes a little bit of a slog, that's when the Islanders are favored. And you know, with 4 minutes left, you don't want to open things up if you're the Canadians, but you still want to try and find a way to pick up the pace a little bit so the Islanders aren't able to slow things down and use their bigger bodies in your own zone.
Caulfield battling for the puck off the draw. 4 bodies there, 1 puck available. Cizikas pokes it free. There's Martin below the goal line. And that'll be another icing against New York. You know, I had a chat with Lane Hudson earlier today, and he had his eye on the preliminary roster for the World Juniors for the United States, and he saw his brother Cole has made that list. So it's a lot of fun for us at TSN. It's a lot of fun for the players who talk about the World Junior Hockey Championship.
A lot of the guys who played in it will have some side wagers between teammates who have played in that tournament. I know that to be the case. I've
little
seen
money
that.
on the board there, Francesco.
Friendly wagers between friends.
Puck in the corner. Played for Fasching behind the net. Fasching centers. Polak has to back up. He does hold his own. Nelson waiting towards the net. Rebound. Martin was there, taken down in front as Montembeault. Quality save again. Nelson. Polak works it in deep. Fasching below the goal line. Tried the wrap job. Couldn't get it through clean, and it comes to Newhook. He'll flip to center. Lane Hudson was taken down. Puck available, and Caulfield able to clean it up as Maxime Siplikov took him down, and that allowed a pretty good chance there for the Islanders.
We're seeing a lot of this right now. Montreal stopping behind the net, the Islanders retreating. You can see it's a team that really is being cautious because of what they've been through in third periods recently.
Yoel Armia in the corner. George. Isaiah George pinned by Armia. George, good job to control the puck and helps to work it up ice. Paul Mary for Lee. Lee waits, and that's on the stick of Caden Gooley. Nice stick there by the young Montreal blue liner. He'll flip that to center. Which team's going to blink first here? Heineman on the move, chasing after George. Giveaway, Gallagher towards the net, and Dobson there to clean it up. Gallagher, good tenacious work in the corner from Brendan Gallagher. Bo Horvat from his own line, he'll curl around, take it back into his own zone. Under 2 minutes to go, third period, Mike Matheson. Matheson starts things up for the Habs to Josh Anderson at center. He'll swat it in. Mayfield back, in comes Dvorak. Gallagher in the corner as well. Jean-Gabriel Pageau using the boards. Arbor Jackeye look out, McLean the steal, walking in, and the shot off the stick and wide.
Great recovery by Arbor Jackeye. Didn't want to give up the puck there, but a lot of urgency to get his stick on that puck off the shot of McLean.
Anderson at center, gloves it down, shoots it in, bounces to Gallagher. Gallagher, weak wrister, just wide. Kirby Dach trying to lift the stick. Gallagher swings at it, chops it into the corner. Final minute, Bell Center, third period, 1-1 game. Laine and Lee, your goal scorers. Slavkovsky chips to center. Polak tried to feed that right side. Palmieri swatted at it. Arbor Jackeye for Slavkovsky. He'll fire it in. Comes to Sorokin. Laine trying to chase it down. 34 seconds left. Polak. Some speed through center. Over the line. Polak still with it. Collision at the blue line. Dach lost his stick. Polak still with it. Across for Palmieri. Palmieri, wrist shot. That didn't miss by much. Far corner. And look out, Gooley taken down. He's checking for blood as he got clipped. High sticking calls coming up. So the Montreal Canadiens, is it 2 or is it 4 with 18 seconds to go in regulation?
No official had their hand up at the beginning, but that was clearly a high stick on Caden Gooley.
And again, Maxim Siplikov, the rookie, pleading his case, but he's going to the box.
Now, I don't think this is Siplikov. I think that's what he's saying. It wasn't me. It looked like it was, we'll have to see a replay, but it looked like it was Nelson in front who got his stick up into the face of Gooley. And it's going to be 4 minutes.
Steve Kozari and Peter McDougall, your referees tonight.
New York number 7 has a double minor penalty for high sticking.
Oh, this is the opportunity you want if you're the Canadiens. Power play that's 1 for 2 tonight, and Nelson's tied up in front with Gooley. And as the puck comes towards, oh, and there it is. It was Siplikov. It looked like it was Nelson at first, but it was Matheson who lifts the stick of Siplikov and hits Gooley in the face. Now, they're going to take a look because friendly fire is something that was discussed and is in the rule book. But there's no doubt it was Siplikov's stick that hit Gooley, but Matheson was clearly the one that lifted it into the face of Gooley.
Both coaches look on. Patrick Roy returning to Montreal, where his banner is in the rafters. Martin St. Louis trying to get this homestand going on a positive note. Game 1 of 5. Obviously blood as Gooley gets some repairs. And we'll get the call here from Peter McDougall.
It was the actions of the Montreal number 8 that caused the high sticking penalty. Therefore, we have no penalty.
There it is, friendly fire. Exactly. Well, that's why they were reviewing it to see if it was. See, now they can review it to see if it was Matheson's stick that hit Gooley, and of course that's friendly fire, but Matheson's actions causing Siplikov's stick to hit Gooley, also friendly fire, and that was something that was discussed and put in the rules, and it goes from being potentially a 4-minute power play for the Canadiens to even strength to finish the game.
18 seconds left, 1-1 tie. Big face-off now to the right of Montembeault. Nelson, Suzuki dig in. Suzuki wins it clean, back to Savard. Savard Armia lost it. Picked up by Suzuki. 10 seconds left. Suzuki. Evans. He'll wait. Pollock checked him. And no surprise, for the 4th straight game, these two sides, a game will be decided by a single goal. 1-1 tie, overtime coming. Patrick Laine, he has scored in his Habs regular season debut. Lee answering for the Islanders. Overtime, next on TSN.
Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
Well, here we go. It hasn't been an overly busy night offensively, but Patrick Laine gets the scoring started for the Montreal Canadiens. He gets his first of the year on the power play. And between Sorokin and Montembeault, a number of big saves. Ultimately, it was Anders Lee who beat Samuel Montembeault in the last minutes of the second period to tie this thing up. No goals in the third period, and now we're heading to overtime.
Really quickly, Patrick Laine, we talked about his expectations. He talked about his expectations coming in. What have you made of Patrick Laine's debut, regular season debut with Montreal?
This is a good debut for Patrick Laine. The guy has missed a lot of hockey. He's coming back from an injury to a knee, which is not always easy to come back from. How are you going to handle the physicality? How are you going to get through some body contact? Not only has he been able to handle that, his puck touches have been good. They've been clean. He gets the goal on the power play. That is going to help a player like that's confidence so much. And this has been as good of a debut as you could have asked for Patrick Laine.
Both goalies fabulous as well. Ilya Sorokin, 24 saves. Samuel Montembeault, 27 saves. Underway in OT. Islanders 3-6 on the season. Montreal 1-3. Here's Matheson on the puck. He'll drop it back. Suzuki. Caulfield out there as well. Suzuki flips back. Cole Caulfield. Little pace over the line. Caulfield waits, shoots off a leg and wide. Hit Pollock. Caulfield. Matheson. Saw Horvat. He'll spin away and they'll wind up again. Horvat, Holmstrom out there with Pollock right now for the Islanders. Suzuki, pace in, lost the puck. Horvat the other way. Bo Horvat for the Islanders through center ice. Horvat drops it off. Dobson jumps on the ice, kicked aside. Montembeault. And the other way, 2-on-1. Suzuki, Caulfield. Nick Suzuki, Caulfield, bouncing puck, still with it. And he hit the side of the pipe from that angle. Up top, Matheson. Matheson waiting. Across, Caulfield, and he'll come back out to center. Man, those are the two guys you wanted in OT, 2-on-1. Kirby Dach. Crowd approves it because Hudson and Laine out there as well. Hudson stops at the blue line. Hudson, Laine, back to Hudson. Lane Hudson, Kirby Dach. Laine there as well. Dach's got the puck. Kirby Dach drops it off. Hudson waiting with it. Lane Hudson. He'll backpedal. Laine takes it back to center ice. He's shadowed by Brock Nelson. Laine up for talk, and he would have had a little bit of runway. He'll bring it in again. Gets checked by Palmieri, and then he loses his footing, and it's Nelson the other way. Hudson getting back. Nelson in, and swallowed up by Samuel Montembeault.
So no one wants to give up possession. No one wants to dump the puck in. But if you're Kirby Dach, if you're going to pull up at the blue line, you have to be sure that you can make a play and not turn it over. The puck ends up getting turned over. Palmieri does a nice job staying with him. Nelson is in on it next. And because Patrick Laine was anticipating that plays going into the offensive zone, he's late to get back. It doesn't matter. It's a 2-on-1. Late Hudson does a nice job of covering that off. Samuel Montembeault makes the save. A close call, but Lane Hudson does a nice job getting back.
Timeout, I believe, called by Patrick Roy and the New York Islanders here.
That's interesting. Like, you haven't used your timeout yet. You're in overtime. We don't really think of random face-offs to call a timeout. Think about it on the power play late in games and rest some guys that you might want on the ice. Palmieri being one of them, who leads the team in points, tied for the lead in goals on the team.
Montreal too, Frankie, just trying to establish, I know it hasn't been the start to the season they've wanted, establish some home ice. They come in 5-5-2 here at the Bell Center, make this place tough to play in.
And you're going to be playing here for a little while. 5 next games at home.
Nelson, Evans, Oilers control. Pollock thought about driving in. He was watched by Slafkovsky. Palmieri cutting in. Kyle Palmieri shoots. Oh, Montembeault looking for .500, and he shut him down. Here's Evans over the line. Stops Matheson. And a step offside as the Bell Center crowd.
I do not think this was offside. This is very close, but even if you think it's really, really close, just let it go, and you'll go to video after. I think Jake Evans did a good job here as he cuts through the middle of the ice. We're going to slow this down. It's a cutback. Oh, it's right on the blue line, so that's where it held up. He didn't get it across at first. Right at the blue line. Close call.
Holmstrom off the draw, gets it back to Dobson. Under 3 to go in OT. Horvat. Some speed up the left side. Horvat cutting in, lost the puck, and the Habs can turn it ice quick. Caulfield leads the rush. Cole Caulfield throws it back. Suzuki. Matheson's got to get back on side, and he will. Here's Caulfield. Matheson. He'll bring it in. Mike Matheson drops. Suzuki walks it in, shoots, and that right pad. Look out, score! OT winner, Nick Suzuki, the follow-up for the Montreal Canadiens win on home ice. How fitting. Half of the mob Suzuki, half of the mob Montembeault. 2 stars on this Tuesday night.
Take your pick. Nick Suzuki gets his 10th goal of the year, and follow the bouncing puck. Nice interchange by Matheson and Suzuki in the high ice, and that's going to trip up Holmstrom. It's going to trip up Dobson, and that leads to Nick Suzuki driving the puck downhill towards the net. The first shot doesn't go in. He follows the rebound, and he's able to cash in, gets the overtime game-winning goal in Patrick Laine's Habs debut. The Montreal Canadiens win it 2-1 against the New York Islanders. Here's the interchange. Matheson through the middle. Dobson, too much room for Suzuki. A fortunate bounce off the shin pad of Bo Horvat, but it all starts with a nice interchange between Matheson and Suzuki. And Nick Suzuki, the captain, gets the game winner, and the bench is loving it.
Nick Suzuki, OT winner, 10th of the season, a big one as they celebrate at the Bell Center. And hey, what a way to honor Patrick Laine in his Habs regular season debut. Brings us to our Molson 3 stars of the game, Frankie.
That was a good night for the Montreal Canadiens. 3rd star, Patrick Laine, who gets a goal in his Habs debut. Highly anticipated. Nick Suzuki, the 2nd star with the overtime winner. And Samuel Montembeault, who maybe will be playing for Team Canada at the Four Nations face-off. He had a very confident game against the Islanders.
His first win since back in November, that 3-0 shutout versus the Oilers, and well-deserved for Samuel Montembeault. Hey, Frank, you want to do it again? Let's do it again. Predators, Canadiens. Thursday, Steven Stamkos and the Preds come to the Bell Center, 7 Eastern time, available in the Habs region. What a night on Patrick Laine night. He scores a power play goal in his Habs debut and a big win. In the meantime, thanks for watching and good night from downtown Montreal.